Good afternoon. Welcome to Haar Disciples Baseball and Softball. My name is Tim Collins, and I am here with you in Disciples Ballpark to bring you the Haar Disciples Softball versus the Stuttgart Reds. Today's game scheduled to start at 1 p.m. We're already a few minutes before that. And I hope you're enjoying your day wherever you may be. It's a cool but sunny day here in southern Germany. Temperatures Celsius right around 60 degrees, which is roughly 15 or so Celsius. Fahrenheit, rather, 60 degrees and 15 Celsius. My conversion is not great these days, but you get the idea. Haar Disciples have taken the field. They have a record of 5 wins and 12 losses on the season. And they are facing a Stuttgart Reds team that comes in second place in the 6-team Bundesliga South. The Reds have a 12-4 record. These two teams have faced each other twice before this year, and they split both games. Stuttgart winning one of them by a score of 10-3, and Haar won the second game by a score of 6-4. That was back on May the 5th. Defensively for the Haar Disciples, they look like this. Katrin Peter playing third base, Samantha Jarmusch, the shortstop, and Linda Santa Cruz at second base. Lisa Gruber playing first base, Annika Srestra behind the plate catching. And in left field, Isabel Hoot. In center field, Teresa Diefenbach. In right field, Sophie Moore. On the mound in pitching, the 17-year-old Sophia Reinisch. And here we go. Ball game about to begin. Stepping up to the plate, Damaris Walter for the Stuttgart Reds. First pitch. That's a strike. Give the Stuttgart Reds lineup in a moment, but it is Damaris Walter, Kristen Scheible, and Hope Cornell. 1, 2, 3. That pitch is high. 1 ball, 1 strike. One and one. And that's ball 2. Two and one. Here's the pitch on the way. A fly ball, center field, coming in Diefenbach. She's under it and makes the catch for the first out. So here's the rest of the lineup for the Stuttgart Reds. Damaris Walter just flat out, and Kristen Scheible, the catcher. Hope Cornell, the shortstop. Colleen Fenton, first base. Elia Petzold, and then Meyer Krempel-Zuribe, Meyer Henke, and Vera Hugendubel rounding out the rest of the lineup. 1 out, and the first pitch. That's a strike called to Kristen Scheible. 0-1. Scheible hitting at .385 this year. That pitch is high. 1 ball, 1 strike. There's 1 out. Nobody on. We're in the top of the first inning. No score between the Stuttgart Reds and the Haar Disciples. And that one is high. 2-1 the count now from Sophia Reinisch. Reinisch in 34 1/3 innings pitched, at the ERA 5.91. But I mentioned she's young, only 17. Pitch on the way. Another fly ball. This one almost to the same spot, but this one's going to drop for a base hit in front of Teresa Diefenbach, who came charging in and couldn't get there. Take a look at that one on the replay. Little pop-up into no man's land in right center field. So runner on first base. And that will bring up Hope Cornell. Cornell leading the Bundesliga with a .611 batting average from Dagsboro, Delaware. And takes a strike on the outside corner. Runner on first base, Kristen Scheible. A pop-up foul out of play. That's going to land on the sidewalk and bounce off to the street area. No balls and 2 strikes, the count now on Hope Cornell. Went to Shippensburg University. She's leading the league, I mentioned, in average. Also OPS, 1685. Not bad. And Sophia Reinish's pitch is outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Waiting on deck, Colleen Fenton. Runner on first base, Kristen Scheibler. There's 1 out. We're in the top of the first, no score. It's a doubleheader today. There will be 2 games. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The pitch, a little line drive caught by Linda Santa Cruz, the second baseman. And Scheibler retreats back to first base. So there are 2 outs now. Take a look at this last play on the replay. This was the 1 ball, 2 strike pitch. It was well located down and away. And Cornell out in front. So there are 2 down, runner on first base. Now we're going to have the substitution. So Cornell is going to run in place of Scheibler. And the hitter is Colleen Fenton. Pitch is high, 1 ball, no strikes on Fenton. Batting .333, 21 years of age, studied mechanical engineering at Georgia Tech University. And her father, Roland, is helping out with the team as well. There's a pitch high, ball 2, 2 balls and no strikes. It's a 2-person umpire crew. Megan Hilton is behind the plate calling balls and strikes, and Malte Clavers on the bases. Runner on first base, Hope Cornell. And the pitch. Popped foul, out of play, strike 1. 2 balls and 1 strike to count on Colleen Fenton. Hope Cornell, the substitute runner at first base. And the pitch on the way. Fly ball down the right field line, and it is caught in fair territory by Sophie Moore for the 3rd out of the inning. So no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base at the end of a half inning of play here in Haar. There's no score in the ballgame. This is Haar Disciples Softball, präsentiert von dem Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD. And while the Stuttgart Reds are taking the field, we'll take a moment to show you their defensive alignment. On the mound and pitching, Zina von Zeppelin, and she'll be working with Kristen Scheibler, the catcher. The 3rd baseman is Patricia Krempels-Uribe, the shortstop, Hope Cornell. And the 2nd baseman is Damaris Walter, Colleen Fenton playing first base. Aliyah Petzold is in left field, and Marianne Meyer in center field. And the right fielder is Martina Meyerhenke. And this is the lineup that the Haar Disciples will send up. Annika Swerstra leading off, Linda Santa Cruz, Teresa Diefenbach, 1, 2, 3. Then Lisa Gruber, Sam Jarmusch, and Katrin Peter, 4, 5, 6. Sophia Reinisch, Isabel Hoot, and Sophie Moore, 7, 8, 9. So Annika Swerstra coming up to the plate now against Zina von Zeppelin. First pitch is down and in, ball 1. Swerstra hitting .367. And the pitch popped up. That's out of play, strike 1. Von Zeppelin has very good numbers. She's pitched, well, these stats are a couple of weeks old. They haven't been updated, so it doesn't include last weekend's games, which Stuttgart lost both games against Regensburg. There's the 1-1 pitch. That one lined into center field, and it drops for a base hit. And Annika Swerstra continues her hot hitting. She leads off the first inning with a line drive base hit to right field, right center field. Zina von Zeppelin, by the way, 40 innings pitched, 43 hits, 20 runs, only 17 earned. She has 25 strikeouts and 5 walks. ERA of 2.98. And so now she will face Linda Santa Cruz, and the first pitch is taken for a ball, and a stolen base And then the throw goes into center field, so that'll be a stolen base for Svirstra, and then she goes to third on the error. I'm guessing that's going to be an E2. The throw was very low and off to the second base side of the bag, so right away the Disciples a chance to take the lead. They have Svirstra at third. Pitch is low, ball 2. There you see the runner from third base, Annika Svirstra. And that's high, ball 3, 3-0. Mentioned these two teams have met before, and they split the 2 games. The pitch, low, ball 4. So first and third with nobody out. And that'll bring up Theresa Diefenbach. Diefenbach hitting .517, 15 hits in 29 at-bats. That leads the Disciples, first and third. And the pitch. There's a strike at the knees. And taking off for second base, uncontested, is Linda Santa Cruz. She just went jogging in. And no attempt by Kristen Scheible. So that'll go as a stolen base. 1 strike, runners on second and third. Here it comes. Fouled away, that's strike 2 now. Zina von Zeppelin in a jam, runners in second and third. There's nobody out. She's looking for a strikeout or pop-up, of course. Theresa Diefenbach trying to drive one to the outfield, bring home a couple. The pitch popped foul out of play. She stays alive, still 0-2. Stuttgart Reds in second place. The Freising Grizzlies are in first place with a record of 15-3. Stuttgart at 12-4. Regensburg at 12-5. The 0-2. Strike 3 swinging. A very good pitch down and in. And that's the first out of the inning. And it's an important one for Zina von Zeppelin. Take a look at this pitch on the replay as Lisa Gruber comes up. Still runners on second and third. And here it comes. Swing and a miss, high. The pitch was high and out of the zone, but Gruber chasing after it. Runners are on second and third. There's 1 out. We are in the bottom of the first, no score. Zina von Zeppelin's pitch. Strike 2. Well, sometimes it takes the pressure of runners in scoring position for the pitcher to bear down a little bit. Right out of the gate, Annika Svirstra was on third base. This one bounced towards the shortstop. Cornell is going to come home, and it is in time to get Svirstra at the plate for the second out. Good play by the shortstop, Hope Cornell. And I think I hit the wrong button, so you didn't see it. But it was a one-hopper right to her. And you can see Svirstra sliding in. It's a very close play at the plate. But that is the second out of the inning. The play goes 6-2. And now runners on first and third for Sam Jarmusch on the fielder's choice. And the pitch from von Zeppelin is low. Linda Santa Cruz is on third base. Lisa Gruber is on first. 2 outs now. Jarmusch hitting .458 on the year. And pops one foul out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. Zina von Zeppelin trying to pitch out of a jam. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That one is high. Gruber staying put at first base. You always got to watch out. Two balls and a strike. A ground ball again to the shortstop. Cornell slowly hit. The throw to first is in time to get Jarmusch by half a step. So Hope Cornell makes a couple of nice throws to get the Stuttgart Reds out of the inning, and the Disciples do not score. They get a base hit, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 2 left on base. And at the end of 1 full inning of play, no score between the Reds and the Disciples. This is Haar Disciples Softball, präsentiert von dem Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD. We go to the top of the second inning here in Haar. No score between the Stuttgart Reds and the Haar Disciples. And for the Reds, they will send 5, 6, and 7. Aliyah Petzold, Marianne Meire, and Patricia Krempels-Uribe. Petzold, the left fielder, will step up to the plate against Sophia Reinisch. First pitch is low for ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Reinisch allowed a single to Kristen Scheible with 1 out, but an otherwise uneventful first inning for the Reds offensively against Sophia Reinisch. The next one, fouled to the screen, 1 ball and 1 strike. The Disciples had runners on second and third with nobody out in the bottom of the first, and they couldn't score. Nice play by the shortstop, Hope Cornell, throwing out Annika Schwerstra at the plate. 1-1, here it comes. Swing and a miss, 1 ball, 2 strikes. One ball, 2 strikes, here it comes. That one is high, 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes on Aliyah Petzold, leading off the bottom of the second inning. No score in the ball game. And here's the pitch. That one is high. And now a full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes. And I am joined by one Mr. Rick Royston. Rick, how you doing?
Good, how are you today?
I don't hear you. Wait, hold on. Say it again.
Good, how are you today?
Ah, good. There we go. Now you're there. There you are. Got here just in time. 3-2. And that's low, ball 4. So, how much softball have you watched? Well,
watched?
Not including us playing horrible versions of it.
Not much. Not much have I watched. Played a lot, or tried to at least.
Mm-hmm. Runner on first base, nobody out, and the hitter is Marianne Meire. And she's bunting. Grabbed by Reinisch. The throw to first is in time. Runner stops at second base. As
good sacrifice.
That puts Petzold on second base. I had my numbers wrong. Before the game, the coach, Misha Kucharova, was trying to figure out the numbers of her own players because I guess they don't have enough uniform jerseys. So every game, they all have different numbers. And so there was a little bit of confusion. The hitter now is Patricia Krempels-Uribe. The first pitch is a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Runner on second base with 1 out, no score. Petzold off second base. Sophia Reinisch, and the bunt is shown. The pitch was high, and Petzold stays put as Schwerstra came out of the box.
I think the whole Haar team was nearly in the infield after she showed bunt.
Well, you know, you see a lot of that, of course.
Is she praying at second base?
Maybe. That is a strike. Good pitch from Sophia Reinisch. 2 balls and 1 strike now, the count. You see down the third base line, Misha Kucharova giving the signs. She is the head coach for the Reds. And the pitch is low. 3-1.
Are stolen bases allowed in fast pitch softball?
Yes, but you can't go until after the I think until after the pitcher releases the ball. I have to double check my rules. The pitch fouled away. Full count now. You're not supposed to ask me questions that's going to make me look bad, Rick.
I'll just ask you baseball questions.
Well, that's not going to really help, actually. Full count on Krempels-Uribe. The pitch fouled away again. On deck, Martina Meyer-Henke. Petzold off second base. There's 1 out in the inning. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch from Reinisch is high for ball 4. And runners are now on first and second. That's the second walk of the inning. And now Martina Meyer-Henke will step up to the plate. Will she be bunting? Sorry.
Meyer-Henke batting .250 on the season.
She took a strike after showing bunt.
The 400 on base percentage, so she does tend to get on base.
Now the Stuttgart Reds, they're second in the league, and they have one of the most veteran teams in the league as well. This one popped up in front of the plate, caught by Schwerstra, and they're going to have a double play if somebody can cover second base. And not in time, as the center fielder, Theresa Diefenbach, had to run in and cover second base. The runner from second base, Aliyah Petzold, was all the way to third base. Let's look at that on the replay, if I can pull it up. Nope, sorry, never mind, no replay. Trust me, it was a pop-up caught by Schwerstra. And so the bunt didn't work. Now there's 2 outs, and the number 9 hitter, Vera Hugendubel, steps up to the plate. But Petzold was way off second base. That pitch is a strike to Hugendubel. But the Disciples, you mentioned before, Rick, the Disciples infield was running all over. There was nobody at second base to receive a throw, and Theresa Diefenbach had to run in from center field.
Yeah, there was a good chance for a double play there, but out of position.
Ground ball, back to the mound. Reinisch fields, juggles, and recovers to throw to first in time for the out. And so both teams now trade scoring opportunities without any luck, as the Stuttgart Reds get no runs, no hits, no errors, and 2 left on base. They've left 3 through the first 2, and we will go to the bottom of the second inning. No score between Stuttgart and Haar. This is Haar Disciples Softball, präsentiert von dem Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD. We are back in the bottom of the second inning, and the first pitch to Katrin Peter is in there for a strike. 0-1 the count. Next one, swung on and missed. 0-2 the count.
So as you mentioned in the break, these games tend to move fast, apparently.
Yeah. Well, yes, they do.
Different pace than baseball.
Yep. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Let's look at that one on the replay now that I've remembered which buttons to push. Pitch down and in. Good pitch from Zina von Zeppelin, who allowed a single and a walk in the first inning. That's her second strikeout. And the hitter now is Sophia Reinisch. Reinisch 2 for 18 on the year.
Von Zeppelin pitching to a 2.98 ERA.
Yeah, she looked good in the first inning. First pitch is a strike.
She's still looking good.
Yeah. She was in a jam immediately as Annika Schwerstra reached on a base hit and then stole second and went to third on an error on the second pitch of the game. There's a bunt attempt, and that is strike 2. You know, it's funny, there's a hissing sound in my headphones. I thought it was the headphones. You know what it is? It's the burgers sizzling on the grill. Pitch is grounded to the first baseman, Colleen Fenton. And she touches up. That's out number 2.
The smell of baseball at the ballpark.
Yeah.
Burgers on the grill.
This is softball, Rick.
Sorry, softball.
Get it right. Don't insult the softball people by confusing it with baseball. It's a pitcher's circle. It's not a pitcher's mound.
A circle, okay.
Yes. Isabel Hoot steps up to the plate. Yeah, so if you think that sound is static in the background, it's not. It smells good. That's a strike.
It does smell very good. Obviously, it's called a circle because There is no mound.
Right, it's flat. Zina von Zeppelin against Isabel
Flat
Hoot.
circle.
Fouled to the screen. Oh, and 2. But, you know, were it not for that ground out, Zina von Zeppelin would be 1 pitch away from an immaculate inning right now. She threw 3 straight strikes to Katrin Peter, and then 2 strikes to Sophia Reinisch, who then grounded out, and now 2 strikes to Isabel Hoot.
This immaculate innings are few and far between.
It's more rare than a perfect game.
It is.
But it's also less impressive, in my opinion.
Max Scherzer just had his second perfect immaculate inning.
In case you're wondering, immaculate inning, that pitch is high.
So
Ball 1. It's when the pitcher throws 9 consecutive strikes and strikes out the side. That is an immaculate inning.
Max Scherzer joining 4 others.
Scherzer.
Pitchers. Only pitchers to do that more than once.
This ball popped up right side, and Fenton called off by the second baseman, Damaris Walter, who makes the catch to end the inning. And a 1-2-3 inning for Zina von Zeppelin, and we will go to the 3rd. No score in the ballgame. This is Haar Disciples Softball, präsentiert von dem Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD. We're back for the top of the 3rd inning. Tim Collins and Rick Royston with you here. And there's no score between the Stuttgart Reds and the Haar Disciples. The Reds are going to have the top of their order up again as Damaris Walter, Kristen Scheible, and Hope Cornell will get their second look at Sophia Reinisch. Walter, her first time in a fly ball to the center fielder, Teresa Diefenbach, who made the catch. And she shows bunt. It is gloved by Peter, and she fires to first in time. 5-3 on the putout, 1 down. That's the thing when you almost expect at least 1 bunt per inning, so the infielders are always ready. And I mean, Katrin Peter, the third baseman, charged all the way, and she was about 5 feet from home plate when she fielded that ball. And now Kristen Scheible, who singled her first time, steps up to the plate.
Dangerous hitter, batting .385, .418 on base percentage, and slugging .577.
Yeah, her base hit to center field was lined to the right center field area. 1 strike to count to her from Sophia Reinisch. And that one is high. 1-1. After Scheible, Hope Cornell will come up to the plate. A ground ball to the shortstop, fielded by Sam Jarmusch. Her throw to first is in time, 2 down. Let's take a look at this on the replay. If for no other reason than to just make sure I push the right button on the camera. I probably shouldn't have pushed that one. Anyway.
So Hope Cornell having a monster season, leading the league in both average and OPS.
Yeah.
There's 3 doubles, 3 triples, and a home run so far. Not in this game, of course.
Swinging a foul. There's only been 3 home runs hit in the entire league. At least, well, these stats are a couple weeks old, but.
Batting .611 and slugging .944.
Yeah, that's not bad. Not bad at all. 1 strike.
To recruit her for our team.
Line drive, deep right field, and this ball is in there for a base hit, and it rolls all the way to the wall. retrieved by Moore, and that ball, I believe, rolled under the fence. And so that's going to have to be our grounds rule double.
They're calling for a double.
Yep, so it'll be a double.
And they're sending her back to second base.
Let's take a look at that one on the replay. It was a drive that just kept carrying over Sophie Moore's head in right field. Check this pitch again as Colleen Fenton steps up to the plate. Yeah, Moore was going back, and the ball just kept rolling. They have that construction fence, temporary fence that is set up out there, so very frequently a ball will roll under it and go out of play. So 2 outs and a runner at second base for Colleen Fenton. And that pitch is in for a strike. That's the second base hit allowed by Sophia Reinisch in this game. 1 strike on Colleen Fenton. A ground ball to the shortstop, and another nice play by Sam Jarmusch to end the inning. So the 2-out double causes no damage, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 man left on base. And we go to the bottom of the 3rd, no score between Stuttgart and Haar. Welcome back to the bottom of the 3rd inning. No score here from Haar between the Disciples and the Stuttgart Reds. And it will be 9-1-2, Sophie Moore, and then Annika Suestra and Linda Santa Cruz. First pitch fouled to the screen.
Sophie Moore with only 1 plate appearance prior to this game.
Zina von Zeppelin on the mound. Starts the line. And the pitch. Grounded up the middle, and that is into center field, a base hit, hard hit.
Hard hit right between the pitcher's legs.
And I just realized I misspoke when I said on the mound, right?
You did.
She's
in the circle.
In the circle, yeah. That's one of the cardinal sins of softball broadcasting, so bitte or Entschuldigung. And leadoff single for Sophie Moore. Annika Suestra now comes up. She got a base hit and reached 3rd base, but was thrown out trying to score. First pitch taken for a ball and a back pick attempt on Moore, and she is back safely.
Annika batting .367, 483 on base percentage, and slugging .510, so she's got some power. 3 doubles, 2 triples on the season.
That one is in for a strike, 1 ball and 1 strike on Suestra. Suestra, S-W-R-I-E-R-S-T-R-A. And for Americans like me, that's a tough one sometimes. Pitch grounded to 3rd. The throw to second is in time to get Sophie Moore.
Close play at second.
5-4 goes the fielder's choice, and Moore is out. And that will bring up Linda Santa Cruz. That was Patricia Krempels-Uribe who made that play. And the pitch to Santa Cruz is a strike at the knees. 0-1. Santa Cruz walked and stole second her first time. Suestra now the runner on first base. And Santa Cruz bunting, and the pitch is fouled back. That was a bunt-in run as Suestra was on the move from first base. The pitch was very high and out of the zone, but Santa Cruz had to chase it.
Suestra with 11 stolen bases on the season. against no caught stealings. This is dangerous on the base paths.
Swing and a miss, and now they've got Swiestra caught between first and second. The throw, she's in there, however. She stole it anyway. So the strikeout, but then Swiestra steals second base.
Let's make that 12 stolen bases.
Yeah. You know what else is interesting? Looking at Annika's statistics, she has not struck out all year.
Wow.
In over 60 plate appearances. So now she's at second base, and Teresa Diefenbach fouls away the first pitch, strike one. Well, the Disciples had 2 runners in scoring position in the first. Couldn't score. They have a runner in scoring position now, albeit with 2 outs. Swiestra on second base. Good speed. And the pitch. That is high. Diefenbach, her first time struck out. Here it comes. High again. Swing and a miss, big cut from Diefenbach. That pitch was down. And the count even now, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Zina von Zeppelin trying to escape another runner in scoring position situation. Here it comes, 2-2. High and outside, and the count now full. Swiestra getting a good secondary lead off of second base. Damaris Walter running in behind her just to cover, just in case Kristen Scheibler, the catcher, wanted to make the throw down there. The payoff pitch, that is high for ball 4. And so runners now on first and second. And now Lisa Gruber will step up.
Lisa Gruber leading the team in walks with 13 against only 2 strikeouts.
First pitch is a strike. Yeah, this team, the Disciples in general, they walk a lot and they do not strike out a lot. And they're also a very young team, so that kind of bodes well for the future.
Yeah, definitely.
Compared to the rest of the league. First and second, the pitch, a big chopper towards the shortstop Cornell. She fields and throws to first in time to end the inning. So the Disciples once again get 2 on. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 left on base. And we go to the 4th. We are scoreless. This is Haar Disciples Softball, präsentiert von dem Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD. We get ready for the top of the 4th inning here. No score.
Meeting at the circle.
Getting a few, there's 2 people in the chat on YouTube, and one person says he likes my Denglish. So I'm just going to take that to mean we should do the whole thing in German now. That'd be hilarious.
Machen wir. Kein Problem.
Alia Petzold takes a pitch low. It'll be Petzold, and then Marian Myra and Patricia Krempels-Iribe. 5, 6, and 7 in the order for the Stuttgart Reds against the 17-year-old Sophia Reinisch on the mound. She's allowed 2 hits and walked 2. That one drops in for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Yeah, maybe we'll do a German inning later. It's a little harder for me to concentrate on all the camera switching and replay control and scoreboard operation, and then also That was a pop fly down the right field line. Long run for the right fielder Moore, and she makes the catch. And let's see if I queued up the replay. Nope. Sorry, everybody. See, too many things sometimes.
So they celebrate in the circle after nearly every out.
Yep.
The high five routine.
So 1 down. Still scoreless ball game. Myra, the hitter. And she sees a strike at the knees.
So how much stuff do fast pitch softball pitchers have? Is it pretty much all fastballs, or?
No. They throw screwballs, drop ball, rise ball, curve balls.
Okay.
And you know, Carl Howard, who is sitting right next to you, can help you more with that.
Hi.
I'm just looking at my stats.
Does anybody? Oh, you're looking at your stats. Aren't we all? Carolyn Howard, of course, not with the team. She's on the DL for today, apparently. As the pitch.
Too much beer last night, probably.
As a strike.
I wish.
Sophia Reinisch ahead in the count on Marian Myra. The pitch, that one is high. Yeah, you can throw, there are change-ups, but the biggest difference is the rise ball and the drop ball, which if you imagine a fastball coming out of a baseball pitcher's hand, the spin coming back towards you, that pitch is low. And imagine it doing from underhand, you get downward spin that way, and that causes the pitch to drop. The count is full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Sophia Reinisch deals. Little blooper down the third baseline. That's foul out of the reach of Katrin Peter. Samantha Jarmusch over there to pick it up. So we'll do it again.
I saw interesting sports science. Fast pitch softball versus baseball.
Yeah, I've seen that one with Jenny Finch. Is that the one with Jenny Finch?
Exactly.
Yeah. It's great.
It's incredibly powerful pitching.
Yeah.
Fast pitch softball.
3-2 pitch, fouled away again. Yeah.
Softball actually shattered the measurement plate.
Yeah, this is, if you're wondering why you should wear a face mask when playing softball, this is why. Because of the mass and the weight of the ball. The effect that it has on you when it hits you is just exponentially greater than a baseball. Payoff pitch, low ball 4, very good at bat for Marian Myra. And she is now on first base with 1 out. That's the 3rd base on balls issued by Sophia Reinisch. And Patricia Krempels-Uribe will step up to the plate now. The runner on first base. Krempels-Uribe walked her first time. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Fouled away again, 0-2.
Stuttgart as a team batting .333 on the season. Dangerous offensive team.
That one is high. 1 ball and 2 strikes. There's 1 out in the inning. Runner on first base, Marian Myra. And the pitch. A high fly ball to center field. And Teresa Diefenbach calls off everyone, makes the catch in left center field. And that is the 2nd out. As Myra has to go back to first, that'll bring up Martina Meyerhenke, the number 8 hitter. She popped out to the catcher on a bunt attempt her first time. And that was the play that almost resulted in a double play. And the pitch popped up, out of play. Strike 1, foul. Runner on first base, Marian Myra. Burgers are still grilling.
Sizzling away,
Yep.
indeed.
1 strike to count the pitch. And this one off the glove of Swerstra, and taking off for second base is Myra. She will be in with a slide. So that's got to be a pass ball, I assume. Take a look at this last pitch from Sophia Reinisch. It wasn't really that high, just kind of got off of Swerstra's glove. One ball, one strike, the count. Sophia Reinisch at the circle, ready. The pitch, a slow ground ball back to Reinisch. She's got plenty of time and makes the throw to first base in time for the final out of the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, one left on base, and at the end of 3.5, it is scoreless here in Game 1 of the doubleheader between the Stuttgart Reds and the Haar Disciples. This is Haar Disciples baseball and softball, excuse me, präsentiert von dem Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD. We go to the bottom of the fourth inning. No score between the Stuttgart Reds and the Haar Disciples, and Sam Jarmusch will step up to the plate. It'll be 5, 6, and 7. Sam Jarmusch, Katrin Peter, and Sophia Reinisch. Jarmusch, who is originally from Ohio and then lived in North Carolina. She's got family all over the world, and they're tuning in from places like California and Scotland. And she wanted to say hello, so hello to her family. First pitch is taken for a strike.
Jarmusch betting 458, dangerous hitter.
She grounded out her first time. The pitch, that one is high. One ball and one strike. Zina von Zeppelin still in the circle. There's a ground ball to third. Nicely stopped by Krempels Uribe. Her throw skips off the glove of Colleen Fenton, and Jarmusch is safe at first base. We'll see how that's ruled. It could be an infield hit, but I think the throw, had it not bounced, would have gotten the runner.
Check the official score.
And it is an E5 indeed. That seems legit. As stepping up to the plate and bunting through the first pitch. That's Katrin Peter, strike one. So Jarmusch on first base. She reached on the error. And you hear a little life coming from the Disciples dugout, which coincidentally is also where my microphone is placed. So there's a swing and a foul to the screen. 0-2 now, the count on Katrin Peter. No score. Seen good pitching so far from Zina von Zeppelin and Sophia Reinisch for the Disciples. The Disciples have 2 hits. The Reds have 2 hits. A little blooper. This one's going to stay on the infield and be caught by the second baseman, Damaris Welter. One away.
So I noticed the players don't wear caps. Interestingly enough.
Nope, I mean, they got the face masks on as Sophia Reinisch steps up. And she bunts one foul. Strike one. I mean, it's not too sunny today.
No.
It's a cool, breezy day.
Pleasant weather. Bit cool.
Fouled away, late swing. I'm thinking to, softball games that I've seen on ESPN, and you will often see players wearing visors at least. But I don't know if that was a team-wide decision. I mean, the right fielder for the Reds, Martina Meyerhenke, she's got a hat on.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the only player that I've seen so far.
The pitch. This one lined to right center field, and it is down for a base hit. And Jarmusch on her way to third base. She is going to be waved around the throw to the plate. Now she's caught between third and home, and she's in a rundown, and she is tagged out. Taking third on the play, however, is Katrin Peter. That's the second out at home plate that the Disciples have had recorded. The tag was actually applied by Zina von Zeppelin herself as she intercepted the throw between third and home. So give Reinisch a double, and then she takes third on the throw. There are two down, and the pitch to Isabel Hoot is taken low for a ball. And there's a strike. Well, it was a line drive gapper.
Yeah, to left center field. Well placed.
This one in the dirt, goes to the screen, and coming home to score is Sophia Reinisch.
An extremely elegant slide.
That'll be a wild pitch, and after all the great defense, this one gets away. It ricocheted off the catcher Scheible's left arm, and kneeling into home plate, Sophia Reinisch with the game's first run. It is 1-0.
Laugh at herself on that slide.
Yeah, but just going back to the play before that, she lined a double to the gap, and Sam Jarmusch from first base rounded. She was halfway between third and home when the throw came in, and she was caught, and the rundown, and was eventually tagged out. I guess the throw went 8-6-2-5-1 or something ridiculous like that, and she was eventually tagged out by Zina von Zeppelin. Yeah.
On that play.
So it's 1-0 Haar leading the Stuttgart Reds.
Questionable decision to send her on that play, I think.
Well, you want to draw the throw at least,
yeah,
and see where the throw was good. So now it's still 2-1, and there's a fly ball to right field. And this is going to be caught by Martina Meyer-Henke for the final out. So after the little meeting in the circle, one more pitch, and the inning is over. But the Disciples get a run on one hit. There was an error, and there was one person left on base. And at the end of 4 innings of play, it is 1-0 Haar. This is Haar Disciples Softball, präsentiert von dem Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD. Top of the 5th inning, 1-0. The Haar Disciples leading the Stuttgart Reds. And the first pitch is inside for ball 1. This is Vera Hugendubel, the designated hitter, number 9 in the order. And then after that, Damaris Walter and Kristin Scheible, 9-1-2 against Sophia Reinisch, who now has the lead. She scored the run herself. And the pitch, that's low, 2-1. Almost drove one in and then scored one herself. The Disciples have had more scoring opportunities in this game. They've had 2 runners thrown out at home plate. And the pitch. Inside, ball 3. Hugendubel waiting patiently. Three balls and no strikes. You know that Sophia Reinisch wants to get the first out here, especially with the number 9 hitter at the plate. But That's ball 4.
Low.
Fourth walk issued by Reinisch. And that will bring up Damaris Walter. Quick meeting in the circle between Annika Serestra and Sophia Reinisch.
They seem to have a lot of meetings in the circle. The circle is a happy place.
As it should be.
Good place to meet.
And the pitch, and the bunt is laid down. It's a fair ball grabbed by Serestra. Throw to second. Oh, she must have been in the batter's box and made contact with it, I guess. Yeah, it looks like she did. It was called right away from Megan Hilton. So that puts the runner back at first base, and I guess that goes as an assist to the catcher when that happens, I believe.
I believe so.
So Kristen Scheible. Well, the bunting has not been very successful. There's another one fielded by Peter. The throw to first is
Safe.
Not in time. I guess it pulled Santa Cruz off the bag. She was covering.
Throw was high.
So we'll see how that's going to be scored. And that's going to be an error, E5. The throw was too high. It would have had her. So now, runners on first and second. And an intentional walk. How about that? Third base was the base that was open, but they're going to intentionally walk Hope Cornell to load the bases for the cleanup hitter, Colleen Fenton. That's something. So you walk the league's leading hitter to face the league's third best hitter, or whatever. Bases loaded, but hoping for a ground ball and a force out at home. There's one out. And a high fly ball to center field. Diefenbach is underneath it, makes the catch. And no advance from any base runners, even though Diefenbach kind of fell down. It's the short outfield, so one pitch, and they do get the second out.
So
that's a very big play, yeah. And now Aliyah Petzold with the bases still loaded. And 2 down in the inning. Petzold walked and flied out. And that is high. There's pressure, of course, on Reinisch to throw strikes in this situation.
We don't want to walk in the run, that's for sure.
Here it comes. High, 2 balls, no strikes. Vera Hugendubel is on third base. She led off the inning with a walk. Kristen Scheible is at second. Hope Cornell is at first. There are 2 down in the inning, 1-0, Haar leading in the 5th inning. Remember, these games are only 7 innings long. And the pitch. A little bit high, and the count now 3 balls and no strikes. And for my money, Aliyah Petzold will be taking all the way here.
Definitely taking all the way, I would imagine.
And Bella Lensinger going to go out and have a quick chat with her pitcher, Sophia Reinisch. Bases are loaded. Hugendubel is the runner at third. Scheible is at second. Cornell is at first.
So the sun coming out for the Reds' scoring opportunity here.
Yeah. The Reds haven't really had that many opportunities. They had 2 on in the second inning, but they did have a runner at second base with 2 outs in the third, but this is by far their biggest opportunity to score. The Disciples have had a couple of other opportunities. They've had 2 runners thrown out at home plate. So here we go. Everything is ready to go. 3 balls and no strikes to count. And the pitch. That's high, ball 4, and we're tied. Bases loaded walk. And 3 walks in the inning, including the intentional walk. So Petzold will get a run batted in. That's really been the only dent on Reinisch's performance today. She's had 5 unintentional walks, and then the intentional. And now Marian Myra steps up. Base is still loaded. There's a strike at the knees, and that's an important pitch.
Very important pitch. Don't want to get behind the batter in this situation.
And just to, get a strike called again, and sort of have a reset button. Yeah.
Exactly.
Here it comes. Strike 2, another good pitch.
Yeah, just found her control again.
tied at 1. And Reinish's pitch popped foul out of play. Myra staying alive. Count still no balls and 2 strikes. Bases loaded. 2 outs in the top of the 5th. And that's popped out of play again over the screen. Out onto the street.
Going through quite a few balls today. Decent crowd here.
Yeah. It's always very lively here. No balls and 2 strikes. Sophia Reinisch deals high, and the count now 1-2. Hope Cornell is, Vera Hugendubel scored. Scheible is the runner at, wait a minute, where are we? That pitch low in the dirt, good block. We have a
getting in front of that by the catcher.
Vera Hugendubel, who scored, is also a substitute runner for Scheible, so she's still on third base. That's another confusing thing. This ball drilled to left field, and it is over the head of Isabel Hoot all the way to the fence. It stays in play, and 3 runs are going to score, and the Stuttgart Reds lead 4-1. A long drive off the bat of Marian Mara. Now she's trying for third as the ball got away from the catcher, and she stumbles into third base safely as the throw there also got away. And so she's at third base, and she's down momentarily as it looked like her feet went out from under her. Let's take a look at that play. It is 4-1. The pitch was up and in, and she really drilled it over the head of Hoot in deep left field. 1 run scored, and then 2 runs scored, and 3 runs scored, and then, Rick, it looks like she might have hurt her ankle.
She went in awkwardly into third base. It looks like she might have jammed her knee or something. Yeah, she took quite a long time to decide to go. The play was a lot closer than it should have been. It looks like something with her knee or her ankle. You hate to see that.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to play the replay of this one more time just to see if we caught it.
So you can.
So right now she's at second base. She stops at second base. The throw.
And the throw goes away and she
goes towards the backstop, and
exactly.
she takes off for third, and then she's going to leave the screen. But she kind of awkwardly arrived. I think she was in between.
She couldn't decide whether she wanted to slide or not, I think, and jammed her knee or her ankle on the base.
So she will be relieved by Sarah von Zeppelin at the moment, who is running for her now. We'll see who goes out to play center field next inning. But it does not look as if she's going to be able to continue. But she's got the hit of the game as far as the score is concerned. And now Patricia Krempels Uribe steps up to the plate. It was a bases clearing 3-run double, and then she went to third on what I presume would be an error of some kind. Swing and a miss. And Sophia Reinisch was 1 pitch away from getting out of this jam.
Yes, indeed, but she rocked that ball to
you got to give credit to Marian Myra. She really crushed one. The pitch fouled away. There's a reason why Stuttgart is in second place, and they have a very good hitting team. No balls, 2 strikes on Patricia Krempels Uribe.
Yeah, as I said, batting .333 as a team before this game. 450 on base percentage.
There's the pitch from Reinisch. A high fly ball to center field. Diefenbach is under it, and she's got it for the 3rd out. But a big inning for the Reds. They get 4 runs on 1 hit, and there were possibly 2 errors in that inning, and 1 left on base. We will go to the bottom of the 5th. It is 4-1 Stuttgart. This is Haar Disciples softball, präsentiert vom Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD. We are back. It's the bottom of the 5th inning, and Stuttgart leads by a score of 4-1, and some defensive changes, as we'll give you that in a minute. First pitch is taken low to Sophie Moore. It'll be Moore, and then Annika Srestra and Linda Santa Cruz.
Haar seeing if they can manufacture something here.
There's a ground ball hit up the middle, fielded by Kreppels Uribe, and her throw to first base is in time. She just moved from third base to second base, and the second baseman, Damaris Walter, is now playing center field. And Sarah von Zeppelin, who pinch ran for Marian Myra after she injured herself, sliding into third base last inning, she stays in the game to play third base. So that's the new defensive alignment as Annika Schwestra steps up to the plate and pops it straight up on the infield. Who's going to get it? The catcher, Kristen Scheible. One catcher pops out to the other, and there are 2 down.
So working quickly.
And that'll bring up Linda Santa Cruz with 2 down. 2 pitches and 2 outs.
Exactly, quickly.
That one is taken low. Santa Cruz walked and struck out. Zina von Zeppelin has allowed 3 hits. She's struck out 3 and walked 2 so far. This one is low, bounces away. 2 balls, no strikes. Two 2-0. And this one 3-0 as a couple of pitches bouncing in the dirt.
Manufacture a 2-out rally here.
And that one catches the inside corner, 3-1. Well, think back to the 3-0 pitch with the bases loaded. First the walk to bring in the tying run, and then she had 2 strikes on Marian Myra, did Sophia Reinisch. There's a ground ball to the shortstop, backhanded by Cornell. She fires to first, and the ball trickles out of the glove of Colleen Fenton. Boy, that would have been a great play. But Linda Santa Cruz beats it out. She's at first base.
Nice pick at short. Couldn't make the pick at first. Throw was a bit low.
Yeah, take a look at this. Teresa Diefenbach steps up. And that is a base hit. 2 down, runner on first, and Diefenbach looks at a ball low as Linda Santa Cruz takes her lead off of first base. That base hit is the 4th in the game for the Disciples against Zina von Zeppelin. That one is in there for a strike. Von Zeppelin with some good heat on the fastball.
Yeah, definitely. So Diefenbach's 3rd in the league in hitting and 2nd in the league in OPS.
And she squares to bunt, and it goes foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Runner on first base, Linda Santa Cruz. There are 2 down. And that one is taken high. Even count now, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Mentioned before, Santa Cruz with 11 stolen bases, now 12. So dangerous speed.
Here it comes. Popped foul out of play. We'll do it again. That one goes across the street into the yard between the office buildings. Well, the sun comes out here, but the temperature changes about 15 degrees depending on if a cloud goes by or not.
It's absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah. Fouled away again. Now you hear the cheering of the Disciples team in the dugout. There's the pitch on the way. Line to left center field. That's going to drop down for a base hit. Santa Cruz stops at second base as Damaris Walter picks up the ball and gets it back into Hope Cornell. 2 on with 2 out.
So tie and run coming to the plate.
That's true. Lisa Gruber, who's 0 for 2, bounced out a couple of times. And the pitch, low and in the dirt. That one goes to the screen, and Karam's high off. And both runners will easily move up. That's a wild pitch. So now a base hit could bring home 1, possibly 2. Big 2-out hit would be important.
With 13 walks against only 2 strikeouts on the year, so he got a good eye at the plate.
But we mentioned before, that is one thing that this team does very well. They put the ball in play, and they are patient.
So as a team, 84 walks against.
The ball popped up,
strikeouts.
and it's going to be over the screen, out of play. Colleen Fenton running over near the fence to give it a look. 1 ball, 1 strike, the count now on Lisa Gruber. Linda Santa Cruz is on third. Teresa Diefenbach is on second. There are 2 down in the inning, 4-1 Stuttgart leading. The pitch is high. And the count 2-1. Zena von Zeppelin ready and deals. A ground ball, and it is backhanded by Cornell. The throw to first is in time. Another stellar throw by Hope Cornell. She's been doing that all game. And
nice backhanded stop.
That ends the inning. No runs on 2 hits. No errors and 2 left on base. And we go to the 6th inning. It is 4-1 Stuttgart. This is Haar Disciples Softball, präsentiert von dem Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD. We are back for the top of the 6th inning, and Sophia Reinisch still out there in the pitcher's circle, and she will deal with 8, 9, and 1. First pitch is a ball to Martina Meyer-Henke. Meyer-Henke, then Vera Hugendubel, and then the top of the order, Damaris Walter. There's the pitch. That's a strike, 1-1. One ball, 1 strike. Popped up behind the plate. Srestra looks like she's just going to run out of room. That ball doinking off the pole and ricocheting backwards. It looked like it was going to come in, but the top of the fence is angled a little bit over the field.
Is that the official term for that play, that doinking off the pole?
That's my official term.
Okay, good. Learned something new.
Yep. That's the beauty. You can kind of invent it if you want. It's 1-2. It looked like some kind of a changeup, yeah, and it was slow, 2-2. Two balls and 2 strikes on Martina Meyer-Henke. Leading off the 6th inning, 4-1 Stuttgart leading. The pitch, chopper, fielded by Reinisch, and she completes the play to first base. 1-3 goes to put out. There's 1 away here in the 6th, and that will bring up Vera Hugendubel.
Hugendubel with no walks on the season, batting .316 with a .316 on base percentage.
Well, that'll do that. I guess that means she also hasn't reached on errors. No. The pitch is in for a strike Or fielder's choice even, right?
Exactly.
I wonder if that's 0-1. Here it comes.
I know sometimes
strike
you can have
two.
a higher batting average than on-base percentage. How does that work?
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure I've seen that.
Fly ball to right field and caught by Sophie Moore for the second out. And that will bring up the top of the order, Damaris Walter. Pitch was away. And now Damaris is 0 for 3, and she pops one in the air to left center field. A long run for Teresa Diefenbach, and she makes a nice running catch. So 1-2-3 inning. That is the first 1-2-3 inning of the entire game for Sophia Reinisch. Nothing across the board for the Stuttgart Reds, and we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. It is 4-1 Stuttgart. This is Haar Disciples softball präsentiert von dem Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. 4-1 Stuttgart leading, and Zina von Zeppelin still on the mound for the Reds. And the first pitch is fouled away by Sam Jarmusch. It'll be Jarmusch, Katrin Peter, and Sophia Reinisch, 5, 6, and 7 in the order for the Haar Disciples against Zina von Zeppelin. Von Zeppelin has scattered 5 hits. This pitch is taken high. She struck out 3 and walked 2. And she was helped by the clutch bases clearing 2-out double in the 5th inning off the bat of Marian Myra. There's a drive pulled foul out of play for strike 2 off the bat of Sam Jarmusch.
So it is possible for your batting average to be higher than your on-base percentage because sacrifice flies are in the denominator of the on-base percentage. So if you have more sacrifice flies than you do walks or hit by pitches, you can have a higher batting average than your on-base percentage.
There you go. Thank you, Rick, because I was going to lose sleep over that, actually. I feel like I've heard that before, but it's not one of the things that I was so confident I would be, you know, sure about it. There's a little blooper, and it is caught by the second baseman, Krempel Uribe, cutting across the infield. That's the first out.
That happens when you have a low number of at-bats.
Okay, yeah. Well, we had that situation a couple of weeks ago where the Yankees they had a worse record than the Boston Red Sox, but a higher winning percentage. So they were actually technically in first place, even though the Red Sox had more wins. Here's Katrin Peter fouling away the first pitch, strike 1.
Math can be fun.
Yeah, baseball is a stats nerd sport in some ways. Katrin Peter with nobody on rather. There's 1 out in the inning. She has 1 strike. Zina von Zeppelin Deal strike 2, fastball right on the inside corner. And the count 0-2.
Well, I'm glad I could help you learn something today, Mr. Collins.
Yeah. If you'd like to know anything about jazz, just ask me, and then you can learn something too. There's a hard ground ball to the shortstop. Hope Cornell does what she has done all game and throws out Katrin Peter for the second out. And that will bring up Sophia Reinisch. It was Sophia Reinisch who hit that double to the gap in the 4th inning. And Sam Jarmusch was caught in a rundown between third and home. But then Reinisch herself scored on a wild pitch that gave the Disciples a 1-0 lead for the time being. The pitch is low. She is 1 for 2 with that double. Pitch is high now, 2 balls and no strikes. The Disciples have to be kicking themselves a little bit. They had runners on second and third with nobody out in the 1st inning. Couldn't score. That's low, 3-0.
Yeah, they definitely wasted some opportunities in this game. And as you mentioned before, they've had 2 runners thrown out at the plate.
And Stuttgart, they got 1 really good chance, and they really capitalized on it.
Yeah, so how many of Haar left on base so far this game?
7.
7 left on base and 2 thrown out at the plate. So that's not how you maximize your scoring.
Stuttgart has left 6 on base. There's a swing and a miss. The count a full 3 balls and 2 strikes. As Reinisch was chasing a pitch that was more than likely high and outside of the strike zone. Full count. Sina von Zeppelin deals. Fouled away.
Very intelligent comment, Tim. What did you mean by that?
Fly ball to center field, and it is caught by Damaris Walter. That's a 1-2-3 inning. But in between innings, we'll go to the 7th inning, which is the final inning. Remember, softball games are 7 innings long, and Stuttgart leading this one by a score of 4-1. But we had a little question in the chat. David off Smoker. Jazz, does the Jazz Suite number 2 from Dmitry Shostakovich count as jazz? I've heard that piece before. I wouldn't say it's jazz, but I will tell you Shostakovich is one of my favorite composers, absolutely. So, you know, I'll give him that. But Shostakovich, he kind of predates modern jazz a little bit. But string quartets, highly recommended the string quartet number 2 and number 8. So, yeah, there you go. Rick, you learned something now.
I did. Thank you very much.
And that's a good question. Keep those jazz and classical music questions coming, because that's naturally what we're going to talk about on the softball broadcast. All right, we'll take a short break. This is softball, Disciples Softball, presented from them. Gesundheit of the name in MSD. We go to the top of the 7th inning after that 10-second pause in between innings, and Stuttgart with a 4-1 lead. And they will send, this is a ground ball to the shortstop. And Sam Jarmusch throws out Kristen Scheible.
So I noticed there wasn't any 5th inning stretch.
Maybe there was, and I missed it also because I'm pushing too many buttons here.
Take me out to the ball game, or the baseball traditions.
Nope. That'll bring up Hope Cornell. Cornell lined out, doubled, and then was intentionally walked and came around to score. And that pitch is in there for a strike.
So that was Cornell's 10th intentional walk of the season. Stuttgart leads the league in intentional walks, and they're all to Hope Cornell.
Well, I guess if you're batting over 600, that's, I mean, you know, that's Barry. That's more than Barry Bonds. Pitch is high. You remember Barry Bonds, getting intentional walks with the bases loaded.
Yes.
Things like this. That happened to him several times. 1-1 on Cornell.
He broke baseball.
Fouled away, strike 2, 1-2. Actually, just to make one last comment about the connection between music and jazz. Not that Shostakovich has anything to do with baseball, rather music and baseball. 1-2 on Cornell. That's high. I watched in a period of extreme dorkness in my life. I watched an entire broadcast of Game 5 of the 1969 World Series, which is the Mets and Orioles. And they interviewed, they had a man in the stands doing interviews. There's a ground ball to the shortstop. And one shortstop throws out the other. Nice play by Sam Jarmusch. She's gotten the first 2 assists this inning. So anyway, in the 1969 Game 5 of the World Series, sitting in the crowd, Louis Armstrong was interviewed live on camera, like during the broadcast, the NBC broadcast. Tony Kubek goes over and interviews Louis Armstrong, who did not appear to be completely sober at the time, but,
Yeah.
That was back in the days.
Was drunk on the Amazing Mets.
Yeah. Colleen Fenton now comes up with 2 outs and pops one up down the right field side in foul ground. Long run for Rohr, and nobody gets there. Strike 1. Geddy Lee, the bass player for Rush,
Yes.
attends every Blue Jays home game and keeps score from behind home plate.
He's a true fan.
Yes. That pitch is a little high, 1 ball and 1 strike. It is 4-1 Stuttgart. Top of the 7th inning, the Disciples will have their last chance in this game. Remember, there's a doubleheader. There's another one coming up after this. That pitch is low. 2-1.
I was contemplating doing a Louis Armstrong impression, but I'll spare the listening audience that.
We'll record it and put it on YouTube for those that really want to see it. That one drops in for a strike. Good pitch from Sophia Reiner. She really has pitched a very good game. Just the one bad inning.
Exactly.
But that's often the story. Where if it, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. 2-2. That's high. 3-2.
A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Here it comes. Swing and a miss. Strike 3.
On the rising fastball.
Yeah, and that is the first strikeout of the game for Sophia Reinisch. Take a look at this pitch. She got Colleen Fenton to chase one up out of the zone. And that's 2 consecutive perfect innings for Reinisch. Nothing across the board, and it's the last chance for the Disciples as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Stuttgart 4, Haar 1. This is Haar Disciples softball präsentiert von dem Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD. Welcome back to the bottom of the 7th inning. Last chance for the Haar Disciples, and they trail 4-1. Zina von Zeppelin trying to finish what she started, and it will be 8-9-1. Isabel Huth, who takes a strike on the first pitch, and then Sophie Moore and Annika Swerstra. And there's a ground ball base hit into left field. And
nice
a leadoff
contact
single.
right in the gap. Hope Cornell wasn't getting to that one.
Yeah, it's a good thing, because if she had, she would have thrown her out. That much we've learned in the game. I have to apologize. I completely missed a pinch hitter last inning. In fact, the hitter that struck out to end the inning was not Colleen Fenton. It was McKenna Akers. So my apologies. And the pitch is a strike to Sophie Moore. Moore is 1 for 2 today. Hoot had been 0 for 2, so now she's 1 for 3. The Disciples trying to rally here. Get something going. And the pitch is bunted back to the pitcher, and her throw goes down the right field line. Headed to third is Isabel Hoot. She's being waved around, and she will score. And taking third on the play is Sophie Moore. It is 4-2.
And the crowd is going wild. Reaches third on a bunt with a throwing error from the catcher down the right field line.
And so it's a 4-2 ball game now. As we take a look at this, we're going to have a meeting in the pitcher's circle. There was an error on the pitcher who threw the ball, not the catcher.
Sorry, my bad.
Come on, Rick. That's okay. So it's 4-2.
Didn't recognize her with the mask.
Well, it's easy with so many things happening so quickly. It's definitely easy to lose track of what exactly happened. Meanwhile, Marian Myra, who came out of the game after injuring her ankle, it looks as though an ambulance has arrived to tend, I'm assuming, to her. So hopefully the injury is not unbelievably serious. So our thoughts with her. It is 4-2. Runner on third for Annika Swiestra. And the pitch, that's a strike. So the Disciples trying to claw their way back here. There you see the runner on third base, Sophie Moore. Swiestra with a fly ball down the right field line. That is foul and lands untouched for strike 2. Well, we can hear some life from the Disciples dugout.
Definitely. Great opportunity.
There's the pitch. High. 1-2 on Swiestra. Nobody out. Runner on third. The pitch inside.
This is
2-2.
definitely who you want at bat. One of the ones you want at bat in this situation, having a great year at the plate. Annika.
And she lines it, caught by the shortstop Cornell, and the throw to third trickles away, but no advance. So Swiestra, who, as we mentioned, always puts the ball in play, has not struck out all year. She hit that ball hard, and it was caught by Cornell on a knee, who then threw back behind the runner at third. The throw bypassed the third baseman, but the fence is so close to the edges of the fair territory that there was no chance for the runner to try to score. And now the pitch is low to Linda Santa Cruz. There's one away. Linda Santa Cruz has been on base twice in 3 plate appearances. She has walked and singled. She also struck out in between. She represents the tying run, the pitch. There's a strike at the knees, 1-1. And the pitch, that one's fouled to the screen. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Zena von Zeppelin, she has allowed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits in the game. 2 runs so far. And the pitch, little flare off to the right, and it's foul. Lands untouched, still 1-2. Runner on third base is Sophie Moore. There's 1 out. We're in the bottom of the 7th. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. And there are 2 down. As Zena von Zeppelin gets her 4th strikeout of the game. And so now, Teresa Diefenbach.
mit der Nummer 17, Terry Diefenbach.
The Disciples' leading hitter is also their last chance in this game. And the pitch. Strike on the inside corner, 0-1. Good fastball from Van Zeppelin.
Put it right in there, challenging Diefenbach.
The 0-1. Fouled away 0-2, and now
Big swing. So
Zina Van Zeppelin and the Stuttgart Reds a strike away from winning the first game of this doubleheader. 0-2. Here it comes. Flared off to the right. That one's off the net, and Diefenbach stays alive.
staying alive, indeed.
Here it comes, and it's high. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bottom of the 7th inning. Runner on third base, Sophie Moore. The Disciples have scored 1 run in this inning, trying to get back in. A fly ball to left field. This is playable for Petzold, and she makes the catch. And that will end the ball game. Ball was hit pretty hard off the bat of Teresa Diefenbach, but
Right to the left fielder.
so the Disciples, they get a run on 1 hit, no, 1 error rather, and 1 left on base. And at the end of this ball game, Stuttgart 4 and the Haar Disciples 2. And so we will take about a 20-minute break or so and come back with game 2. My name is Tim Collins, along with Rick Royston. This is Haar Disciples Softball, präsentiert von dem Gesundheitsunternehmen
MSG.
MSD. You said gay, right?
D, I did.
D.
I always do that.
MSG, come on, man. That's the
Yeah,
Yankees' old
monosodium
network.
glutamate.
That's yeah, right. Or Madison Square. Okay.
MSD.
We'll be back. Good afternoon. Welcome back to Game 2 of this doubleheader between the Haar Disciples and the Stuttgart Reds. As we are about ready to begin, it's 6 minutes after 3 right now. And the Stuttgart Reds won the first game of this doubleheader by a score of 4-2. Very interesting line score. They actually had 4 runs on only 3 hits in that game. In fact, 4 runs on 3 hits and 2 errors, so 4-3-2. The Disciples had 2 runs on 6 hits and 1 error. That was in the first game. The Reds left 6 on base, and the Disciples left 8 on base. The losing pitcher was Sophia Reinisch, and the winning pitcher Zina von Zeppelin, excuse me. My terrible handwriting. Both pitchers pitched the whole game. Game lasted an hour and 35 minutes. That's like 1910 baseball time.
Exactly.
Right there.
Went very quickly.
And you're seeing the warm-up pitches from Samantha Jarmusch, the right-hander who was originally from Ohio, grew up also in North Carolina, and she wanted me to send a greeting, a worldwide greeting to her family members all over the world. There are some watching from California, some watching from Scotland, and maybe some other places in there, so she wanted to say hello. And she's going to get ready to face the Stuttgart Reds. Defensively, by the way, in the field for the Haar Disciples, Isabel Hoot is playing third base. Sophia Reinisch is at shortstop. Linda Santa Cruz is at second. And Arnika Swerstra is at first. The catcher is Katrin Peter. Stepping up to the plate is Damaris Walter. And the first pitch, swing and a miss. And Walter about 10 minutes late for that bus. Strike one. In the outfield, Shaya Ratziro in left field. Teresa Diefenbach in center. Lisa Gruber is in right. And a late swing, strike 2.
Samantha Jarmusch pitching to a 2.58 ERA. That's second in the league. Striking out over a batter an inning.
You can see right away the heat coming in.
This is 21 strikeouts against only 7 walks.
That one is low. Sam Jarmusch pitched for Pfeiffer University in North Carolina. That's NCAA Division II. There's a swing and a miss, strike 3. And that's how this game begins. Take a look at this on the replay, this last pitch. Nothing fancy. So 1 out, and that will bring up Kristen Scheible, the catcher. Yeah, Jarmusch was the team captain in her final year of university in 2016. From the pitcher's circle, here she goes. The pitch, bunt, and that one ricochets off Katrin Peter for strike 1. Jarmusch throws a screwball, a curveball, a rise, and a changeup, and she also very well educated. Bachelor's in chemistry and math, and a master's in business administration. So that's a recipe for success, I would say. Not to mention playing some mean softball. There's a swing and a miss. That ball trickling off the glove for strike 2.
She's showing some heat early on.
No balls, 2 strikes. And that's strike 3. Well, let's look at this one again. Just blowing it right past the first 2 hitters.
I wouldn't want to face that.
Nope. Hope Cornell steps up to the plate now.
So this is power hitting against power pitching.
And Jarmusch's pitch is blooped over first, and that's a base hit down the right field line. Cornell is going to round first and hold on there. She was jammed on the pitch and floated it over the first baseman Swerstra's head into right field. So a 2-out single after the 2 strikeouts. And that will bring up Colleen Fenton. Fenton at the plate. And that pitch just missed inside. Home plate umpire, by the way, is Malte Clavers. As the 2-person umpire crew switches position from the first game, Megan Hilton is out on the bases. 1 ball, no strikes on Colleen Fenton. Inside, Cornell again getting a secondary lead off first base.
Wouldn't that be a primary lead since it's first base?
I think because first base is blue and that's a primary color. 2-0 pitch, fouled away. Fenton very late swing, now with the count 2-1. Didn't you learn your Roy G. Biv? That's how I talk my way out of stupid things that I may or may not have said. My other excuse is that I can't remember anything I said 45 seconds ago. But the replay is set for 60 seconds though, so I guess that's a problem with the pitch. Swing and a miss, and a throw behind the runner at first, and that was saved nicely by Schwestra, who had to reach into foul ground to receive the throw. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Colleen Fenton. Hope Cornell off first base. And Jarmusch's pitch. Strike 3, and she struck out the side. No runs, a hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. And a very strong first inning for Sam Jarmusch. We go to the bottom of the first inning, no score. This is Haar Disciples Softball. Präsentiert von dem Gesundheitsunternehmen
MSD.
We go to the bottom of the first inning, and the defensive alignment for the Stuttgart Reds. Sarah von Zeppelin is playing third base. Hope Cornell is playing shortstop. Patricia Krempels-Uribe is playing second base, and Colleen Fenton is playing first. The catcher, just like in the first game, is Kristen Scheible. In left field, Martina Meyerhenke. Center field, Damaris Walter. In right field, Aliyah Petzold. And on the mound and pitching, McKenna Akers. Akers from Boston University. And she just joined the Stuttgart Reds last week. We don't actually have the stats because the stats are more than a week old, but she pitched against Regensburg in a game that the Reds did not win. She pitched in NCAA Division I for Boston University. She will be 23 later on this month. And she pitched last year in Germany for the Neuenkirchen Nightmares, and so now she's going to start things off. And first pitch is outside to Annika Schwestra. So it'll be Schwestra, and then Linda Santa Cruz and Teresa Diefenbach. And the pitch, that's a strike in the knees. 1 ball, 1 strike. And Schwestra, a little look back. One and one. That one just below the knees, 2-1.
He's got an interesting windup.
She's really been keeping those first 3 pitches were very at the most bottom part of the zone. There's a comebacker. And Akers makes the play. Speaking of comebacker, that was a very weakly hit comebacker, but Akers, when she was in college, took a line drive to the face and it broke a bone. She apparently, reading a quote of hers, it knocked out her teeth. She picked up her teeth and walked off the field.
Good for her.
Went and had surgery.
Did she continue the game?
She did not, but apparently she pitched a week later, which is
wow.
Something that I am guessing was highly discouraged. Pitches a ball to Linda Santa Cruz, but that, I guess, shows you the determination and competitiveness that she has. Here's the pitch. That's a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Yeah, she actually, after the injury, having a 4-hour surgery, she returned to the field the next day, not to play, but to cheer on her teams. There's a strike 2 as Santa Cruz bunts through the delivery. But she did pitch, or to play at least a week later with a face mask, even though it was against doctors' recommendations. That's kind of without saying. There's a foul ball, 1 ball, 2 strikes. But she came out and came back, and she's had a successful pitching career since then, and she's now in her second year playing in the Bundesliga. This time for the Stuttgart Reds. Pop foul on out of play again.
Santa Cruz staying alive.
Teresa Diefenbach is on deck. This the fourth and final meeting of the year between these two teams. Popped foul away again. And that ball gets wedged on the other side of the net. It's actually right
on
there.
Our side of the net, yeah.
It's like,
souvenir.
I got it. What do you think, huh?
Yeah. Which is the ball and which is your face?
Come on, that was low. The pitch was low.
The pitch
2
was
balls
low.
and 2 strikes. Fly ball to right field. This one dropping quickly, and it lands a base hit as it rolls past the right fielder Petzold, and that allows Santa Cruz to make it to second base. Ball retrieved by Walter, and that'll be a
Just under her
double.
glove.
She made a diving attempt, and it landed maybe 6 inches or so short of her glove, and then it rolled behind her, and you see Damaris Walter having to run in behind. So, Santa Cruz at second base for Teresa Diefenbach, and the pitch slowly hit on the ground to the right side, and the play to first made by Krempels Uribe.
Another scoring opportunity for Haar. See if they can capitalize. We're not able to capitalize on many scoring opportunities in the last game.
Even though the Disciples out-hit the Stuttgart Reds, it was really the walks that did in Sophia Reinisch. So Lisa Gruber now, runner on third, 2 down, and the pitch, there's a strike right of the outside edge. 0-1. Linda Santa Cruz on third. Little floater, and this is going to be caught on the fly by the second baseman, Krempels Uribe, and the inning is over. So, both teams get a hit. Neither team scores at the end of 1 full inning of play. We are scoreless as we go. I'll correct the scoreboard there. We go to the second inning. No score between the Disciples and the Stuttgart Reds. This is Haar Disciples Softball, präsentiert von dem Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD. We go to the top of the second inning. No score between the Stuttgart Reds and the Haar Disciples. And for the Reds, it'll be Alia Petzold, Sarah van Zeppelin, and Patricia Krempels Uribe. 5, 6, and 7 against Samantha Jarmish, who struck out 3, giving up a single in the first inning. First pitch is taken for a ball. Petzold showing bunt, pulled it back, and then the pitch kind of handcuffed. They appealed. Did she go? No, says the first base umpire.
Okay, I've not seen that before. The home plate umpire appealing to the first base umpire on the call.
Well, there's only one other umpire. There's the 1-ball pitch. Same thing. Ball 2, just a little bit low. This time it didn't handcuff Peter the way the previous pitch did. Annika Schwerstra running in from first to try to defend against that bunt. 2 balls, no strikes. And Jarmish deals. That's in there, 2-1.
Jarmish very intense out there on the mound.
Oh, she's got a little smile on her face now.
Yep.
And that one bunted back to the screen in the count now, even 2-2. Have you ever seen that image of Max Scherzer before he throws a pitch and he's mouthing words that you can't say on TV? He's just saying, he's speaking, like even as he begins the windup, he's just swearing at the hitter, it looks like. I would not want to bat against Max Scherzer.
Definitely not.
Fouled away. Count still 2 balls and 2 strikes. Aaliyah Petzold and then Sarah van Zeppelin. Strike 3 is called.
Backwards K.
And that's the 4th strikeout for Samantha Jarmish. See how that pitch kind of dropping down in. Excellent pitch. I mean, it's basically an upside down fastball.
Exactly.
So now Sarah van Zeppelin steps in. And that one bounces in, ball 1. And that one, foul ball, got a little bit of everybody on the way by. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Swing on that.
I mean, it's so tough. Just because of the angle, you know, it's in baseball we're always talking about downward plane, and in softball it's the opposite. It's an upward plane, and to try to meet it, the path of the bat, meeting the path of the ball, is really difficult. There's a ground ball, and it's just foul to the first baseman, Sverstra. Made the play just in case, but it's strike 2, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, it's quite difficult with the balls rising like that or dropping. And it's coming in, what, say
65, 70, yeah.
70 miles an hour from very close. I mean, that's effectively, since the circle is so much closer to the plate, that's like facing a 100-mile-an-hour fastball.
There's a ground ball to short, and Sophia Reinisch throws out Sarah van Zeppelin for the 2nd out. 2 down, and now Patricia Krempels-Uribe steps up to the plate. That one is low. Oh yeah, I mean, if you imagine the pitch coming out, you know, being released from the hand around the knee height, and then it rises like that. That one came in at about shoulder height for ball 2. But if you try to swing at a pitch at the top of the strike zone, there's like a split second where the path of the bat and the path of the ball can even meet. It's very difficult. Swing and a miss, and that's where Jarmish wants to keep the pitch. Because when you get him up there, it's hard to get around on it.
It's hard to get around on it, and yeah, just like you said, the plane and the angle of the ball is coming in. It's very difficult.
Swing and a miss, strike 2. Now we are off to the side a little bit, so it's also difficult for us to see what kind of lateral movement is coming in on the pitches. So that's why I'm not really speculating as to what the pitches are that are coming in. 2-2. Swing and a miss, got her swinging. That is 5 strikeouts through the first 2 innings for Sam Jarmish. Nothing across the board for the Reds in the 2nd inning. And we will go to the bottom of the 2nd inning. No score. This is Haar Disciples Softball, präsentiert vom Gesundheitsunternehmen
MSD.
horrible. We go to the bottom of the second inning. No score. And for the Haar Disciples, it'll be 5, 6, and 7. Sam Jarmisch, Katrin Peter, and Sophia Reinisch stepping up to the plate. Jarmisch, of course, is the pitcher, and so far, everything going according to plan for her from that end of things against McKenna Akers, and the pitch on the corner for a strike. Akers retired the side without a strikeout, allowing a double. There's a pop-up right side of the infield, and it is caught by Krempels Uribe. And there's one away. That will bring up Katrin Peter. No score, bottom of the second. First pitch, strike on the inside corner of the knees. 0-1. McKenna Akers has the sign, and she deals. Right on the outside corner, 0-2.
Have you ever faced fast pitch?
I have.
Softball pitching?
Yes, a couple of times. Popped straight up, foul territory, over near the backstop and caught. A nice catch by the catcher, Kristen Scheible.
And a near collision.
I believe she went out of the range of the camera. Let's check. Yep, she did. And so 2 down, and Sophia Reinisch will step up for her first shot against McKenna Akers. And that pitch is taken for a low. Ball 1. You know, you'll hear that slap sound, a lot of pitchers when they release the ball. I think that's, not sure what pitch that is that she's throwing. There's a bunt attempt, strike 1, but after she releases the ball from her hands, she will slap the glove, and you hear this sound.
Yeah.
And it's meant, you know, it's meant as a distraction device for the hitter.
Okay.
From what I understand.
Is that her trademark, or?
No,
more
I've seen
pitchers
many.
do that?
I've seen many pitchers do it. 1 ball, 2 strikes. You were asking if I've faced fast pitch. I have once. We did the Disciples softball team did a fast pitch game once. I don't think you were there though.
No, I think I must have missed that.
The Munich Marvels. And yeah,
I played with the Marvels.
Well, so then you faced fast pitch.
Yes, I have.
Yeah. It's definitely different. One of the things that, actually one of the main things I remember was I hit a ball off the end of the bat, and I very nearly dislocated my shoulder because of the vibration coming from the heavy softball off the end of the bat.
Exactly. That's why I always wear batting gloves. Not that it helps that much when that
No,
happens.
as the pitch fouled away, the count still 1 ball and 2 strikes on Sophia Reinisch. 2 outs, nobody on base.
The Marvels actually train and practice very close to my house.
Yeah, I think
Kennedy Field
we've had
for
this
Soundgarden.
discussion before. The pitch, outside, 2-2 now the count.
I've
And
actually pitched for the Marvels quite often when they play in slow pitch tournaments because nobody on their team can pitch slow pitch.
I was going to say, can you pitch fast pitch?
No, I
Because
cannot.
I definitely cannot. And an off-speed pitch fouled at the plate. That was a good changeup. You could see how far out in front Reinisch was.
Way out ahead of that one.
And that one had the glove slap too. Here it comes. Fouled away. Still 2-2. Tough at bat for Sophia Reinisch. Here it comes. Ground ball, that is through into left field, a base hit. So Sophia Reinisch wins the battle.
Nice
Fouled off
opposite
a
field.
bunch of pitches. And so now each team with 1 base hit. 2 down, and now the designated player, Isabel Huth. Pitch is in there for a strike. And she bunts it to the left of the mound, grabbed by Akers. The throw to first is in time, moving to second base. Wait a minute, that's the third out of the inning. Right, so no sacrifice, that's just to put out. She was bunting for a hit.
She did move to second base. But
she did, but yeah, she also is stranded there. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on base. The end of 2, no score. This is Haar Disciples Softball, präsentiert vom Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD. We move to the top of the 3rd inning, and I need to make a correction, as is, you know, not only true of the softball game, but generally in life. I have to correct myself. The 3rd baseman for the Haar Disciples is Annalene Wiele, and she is not in the lineup as the designated player is Isabel Huth, batting in her place. So I mistakenly identified her incorrectly at the beginning of the game, so my apologies. So Wiele is playing 3rd base. And the rest of the infield, Reinisch, Santa Cruz, and Swerstra. And so we will move to the top of the 3rd inning. No score between the Reds and the Disciples. Samantha Jarmish has struck out 5 of the first 6 outs she's gotten here. And she will go to work. First pitch. That one is inside for ball 1 against Martina Meyer-Henke. Meyer-Henke, the number 8 hitter, and then Farah Hukendubel and Damaris Walter, the top of the order. And the pitch. That's a strike. Meyer-Henke was tied up on that last pitch. 1-1. Swing and a miss, 1-2. And Jarmish is 1-2, and a half swing bunted foul.
A swinging bunt off the plate.
But if it were an actual bunt, it would be strike 3. So the half swing. Just got a piece, just trying to put the ball in play. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. Remember the Reds, they only had 3 hits last game, even though they won by a score of 4-2.
Infield in.
And that's strike 3. 5 strikeouts for Samantha Jarmish.
6 strikeouts.
Yeah, excuse me, 6. Thank you, Rick. Very tough pitch to hit.
Yeah.
And now Vera Hukendubel. And she pops up the bunt. Backwards, foul ball, strike 1. Well, even in last game with, I believe there were 6 walks the Disciples issued, it's still a very fast-paced game. Obviously, I mean, we knew this coming in, but just very aggressive at bats.
Yeah, definitely.
A lot of bunting early in the count, a lot of, you know, just trying to put the ball in play, a lot of. And I guess against Jarmish, you kind of have to do that. I mean, 6 strikeouts out of 7 outs. It's definitely
putting the bat on the ball in any way possible. The infield playing the bunt right off the bat, literally.
1 strike the count on Farah Hukendubel. And that one hit something.
Sounded like a foul tip.
And it is a foul ball.
Just caught the end of the bat.
Now, there was no signal at home. So the count, well, he says 1 ball, 1 strike. Yeah, it's 0-2, as Megan Hilton just corrected him. That was a foul ball. The count is no balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, she was right on that. 0-2. That one is low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. No argument from anybody. I mean, the ball clearly tipped the bat. But those are the types of things where it's easy to sort of forget the count for a second.
Yep.
I know I'm guilty of it for sure. Here's the 1-2. Half swing, grounded, fouled on the first baseline. A whole bunch of very defensive swings against Jarmusch.
A very weak contact. Even the one hit by Hope Cornell was not hit very hard.
Yeah, she was late on a fastball. The pitch, again, flared off to the right. I mean, you just have so little time to react.
Yep. Like I said, this with pitching like this, it's like facing 100+ mile-an-hour fastball in baseball.
Except it goes up.
Exactly.
There's the 1-2. Ground ball to the right of the mound. Fielded by Santa Cruz, and the throw to first is not in time. That'll be an infield base hit as Hugendubel beats it out. Once it got past the mound, you knew it was going to be trouble.
Yeah, it's a very slow roller. Just under Jarmus's glove.
Yep, and that's why you play to just put the ball in play, because it's difficult to complete a play like that because of how close together the bases are now with 1 out. And Damaris Walter at the top of the order at the plate. She's bunting, and it goes to the pitcher Jarmusch, who fields and throws to first in time.
Move the runner along. No, 2 outs.
And there are 2 outs. And that will bring up Kristen Scheible. Scheible struck out her first time. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Runner off second base. The pitch. Bunt is shown. The pitch is low. And Peter thinking about throwing behind the runner, but
no one there.
There was nobody there, exactly.
Received the throw.
And Jarmusch now looks like she might have stumbled and twisted an ankle or something. She's limping a little bit. Let's look at this last pitch. Watch her feet. Yeah, she slipped. Her back foot slipped off to the left. So her right foot went out from under her in the middle of her delivery, and then she was kind of walking off around the circle, favoring one leg. Now she's stretching her left leg a little bit, but she appears to be okay. Maybe it just kind of cramped up or something. So the count is 1 ball and 1 strike, I believe. Yes, 1-1 on Scheible. The pitch bunted, and it is grabbed with a bare hand by Jarmusch, and her throw goes off the glove of Santa Cruz, and that allows the run to come around to score. And it is 1-0 Stuttgart.
Yeah.
Would have been a great play by Jarmusch.
He barehanded that, and throw was just a little bit off the mark.
So let's look at this on the replay. It was, hit to no man's land. Those little ground balls right there. Those bunts can be tough. It got past the third baseman Vila. It was barehanded by Jarmusch, and her throw was just offline. And that was Linda Santa Cruz who was covering the second baseman. And it's going to be an error on Jarmusch. So E1. No run batted in, because with 2 outs, obviously that would have been the 3rd out of the inning.
Yeah.
An intentional walk for Hope Cornell, so she's going to continue her league lead in that area.
It's number 11.
And Colleen Fenton, well, when they intentionally walked Cornell to get to Fenton in last game, Fenton ended up hitting a deep fly ball. but it's not like it gets any easier. Here's the pitch from Jarmusch. That one's in there for a strike. Right through there. 0-1. Well, a single to the number 9 hitter. Little infield single. Ball hasn't left the infield except for the throw. And the pitch to Fenton. That one's low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Scheible is the runner at second base. Oh, excuse me. So Vera Hugendubel is in there pinch running again. There's a little tapper. This one is going to trickle foul up the first base side. So Vera Hugendubel scored, but then she goes back out to run for Scheible, who's going to put the catcher's gear on. That's why.
Okay.
And so it's confusing when I look at my scorecard and I see number 22 just scored, but then I look out and you see number 22 standing on second base.
Well, does that count? Will that count again as a run scored for her if she scores again? I guess so.
That's a question for Andrea Radovic, the official scorer. The pitch, swing and a miss, and that is strike 3. The inning's over, but the Stuttgart Reds get a run on 1 hit. 1 run on 1 hit. There was an error, and there were 2 left on base. And at the end of 2.5 innings of play, it is 1-0 Stuttgart. This is Haar Disciples Softball, präsentiert von dem Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. 1-0 Stuttgart. They won the first game by a score of 4-2. And it'll be Shaya Ratsiro will step up to the plate. And the first pitch is taken high for ball 1. Shaya Ratsiro is 15 years old and playing in the Bundesliga. The pitch, swinging and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. It'll be Ratsiro and then Annika Srestra at the top of the order and Linda Santa Cruz. Swing and a miss, strike 2, 1-2.
Yeah, Shaya batting .231. Number 13 plate appearances.
Now we mentioned the Disciples have the 2nd youngest team in terms of average age in the Bundesliga. And all the things that they do well, such as, you know, put the ball in play and get on base, those are things that bode to improve over time.
Definitely. A lot of potential.
And the pitch is outside, 3-2, so she hasn't chased.
Her plate discipline is remarkable, especially with such young players.
Making McKenna Akers work a full count. Here's the pitch. Low, and that is ball 4.
Shaya did not know that she just reached base.
Hey, well.
She wanted to stay at the plate.
So now the top of the order, Annika Srestra, and the first pitch in there for a strike.
Annika, a dangerous hitter. Let's see if she can make something happen here.
And she hits a fly ball to center field, and it is caught. And a throw back to first base, diving back safely is Ratsiro. Close play.
Close call.
Looked like she got the hand in there.
Yep.
And now she was tagged out as she took her hand off the base,
Oh.
as she was a little shaken up. And an alert play by Colleen Fenton. Nobody had called timeout. And she took her hand off for just a second.
We have a replay.
And that's a double play. Yeah, we saw. I mean, I saw it actually. You could see she was struggling to get up a little bit, and an alert play by Colleen Fenton, the first baseman.
Very heads-up baseball there.
You see, she dives back.
Sorry.
She's safe. She's safe. She's safe. And then you see the Reds calling attention to watch her. She took her hand off the base, and Fenton tagged her out. And the first pitch is a strike to Linda Santa Cruz, as there are 2 outs and nobody on. And this one is fouled away, 0-2. We hope Shia Ritziro is okay. She looked a little bit
shaken up, like you said.
yeah. Chopper to third, and the throw to first is not in time. That'll be a base hit all the way, as Santa Cruz had it beat, even if the throw had been there on time. That's the third hit for the Disciples, a 2-out hit, as Teresa Diefenbach will step up to the plate. And a foul to the screen, strike 1.
Good swing.
McKenna Akers on the mound. She has walked 1, allowed 3 hits. No strikeouts. Again, I've already said it about 50 times. This Disciples team, one of the toughest in the league to strike out. The pitch is high. It has not translated to lots of offensive production, however, though.
Yeah, they lead the league in walks. And by hit by pitches as well.
There's a drive to right center field, and it is caught by Aliyah Petzold, who made a nice running catch. That ball was really stung by Teresa Diefenbach, and she lines out to the right fielder to end the inning. Let's take a look at that one on the replay.
That was a really good contact.
Yeah, that ball was never very high in the air, and it still carried deep into right field, and Aliyah Petzold had to make a nice running grab. So the inning is over. We go to the 4th, and it is 1-0 Stuttgart Reds. This is Haar Disciples Softball, präsentiert von dem Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD. To the top of the 4th inning, 1-0 Stuttgart Reds leading the Haar Disciples here in the second game of doubleheader. And for the Reds, it'll be Aliyah Petzold who made that nice running catch to lead things off against Samantha Jarmish. And she bunts the first pitch right in front of the plate, picked up by Katrin Peter, and the throw to first kicks off the glove of Linda Santa Cruz into right field down the line. And safe at first base, Aliyah Petzold.
Covered by the right fielder otherwise.
That's a base hit. Little bunt single. That's the 3rd hit for the Reds. And now Sarah von Zeppelin steps up to the plate. And now time's called.
Personnel change.
Yep, that's Shia Ritziro, who may have injured herself diving back to the base in, last inning, is going to be replaced by Sophie Moore. Moore played left field and she played right field in the first game, so now she's in left. So a mid-inning switch. And the hitter is Sarah von Zeppelin. And against Samantha Jarmisch, the runner on first base, Aliyah Petzold. We're in the top of the 4th inning. Nobody out. Stuttgart trying to sweep the doubleheader. They lead this game 1-0. And Sam Jarmisch looking in for the sign. Here's the pitch to Sarah von Zeppelin. She shows bunt, and she bunted it foul.
Into herself.
Yep, she was still in the box. That ball
Still in the
actually
box, so, yep.
came back and hit her just below the neck. 1 strike. Petzold off first base. And the bunt fouled away again, 0-2.
Yeah, like you said, against Jarmusch, just any way to put the bat on the ball.
Jarmisch has really been firing in the game, but yeah, the small ball.
She's choking up with 2 strikes. Choking up on the bat.
And a chopper back to Jarmisch. She goes to second. The throw is high, and everybody is safe. Would have been a forced play there, but instead 2 on and nobody out. That's probably going to be another error, unfortunately. And it indeed is. So runners on first and second for nobody out. And now, I mean, it's already like a 75% chance that everybody's bunting anyway, but this is 100% with 2 on and nobody out. Patricia Krempelzy-Riebe, the hitter. She squares and bunts through it for a strike. As Katrin Peter almost lost the ball, she sort of sandwiched it between her elbow and her leg.
So if the runner advances on an error by the pitcher, does that count as an earned run?
No. Well, score? No. It doesn't make a difference.
Made the error.
Yeah, I know. I always thought that made sense as well. The pitch bunted foul, 0-2.
I mean, it's still your fault.
Right.
So it should be an earned run.
0-2. Well, the question is, you're charging it to the pitcher, sure, but you're not crediting the team.
Yeah.
There's a swing and a miss for strike 3, by the way. That's a big pitch, because with runners on first and second, she failed with the bunt attempt twice and then was finally struck out. That is strikeout number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 for Sam Jarmisch. And now Martina Meyer-Henke. And she pops up the bunt, and it's going to go foul just out of the reach of Vila and Peter. Meyer-Henke struck out her first time. First and second, there's 1 out. Top of the 4th. And she bunts it foul again, strike 2.
The Reds are finding it hard to even bunt against Jarmusch.
Yeah.
That's some really great stuff today.
Oh, and 2. You think she's still bunting? Probably not, right?
Probably not with 2 strikes.
But honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And those were 2 gifts, really, from the Reds, from the failed bunts that really just set up an easy strikeout for Jarmisch. And now there are 2 down for Vera Hugendubel, but it was Hugendubel who got the single and came around to score last inning.
Playing her in.
And very late swing.
Very late swing, indeed.
I mean, she looked completely overmatched in the last at bat and still fought one off, fouled away a bunch of pitches. Just like that, and then rolled one up the middle, turned into a single. She came around and scored, and that's how it goes. 1 strike to count to her. And the pitch. Fouled away again, 0-2. So Jarmisch, 1 strike away from coming back to get out of this jam and keep it at 1-0. Remember last game, Sophia Reinisch was one pitch away from escaping a jam, and the Stuttgart Reds were able to turn the game within the span of a couple of pitches. 0-2. That one is low. And a throw behind the runner at second base. And she's back. Petzold. She was getting a huge secondary lead because no infielder is really covering. They're more concerned about keeping the ball in the infield than worried about the base running game right now.
Infield's playing in.
1-2. Inside, 2-2. And this time, Linda Santa Cruz running in even more quickly behind Elia Petzold off second base. But this one is resting on the shoulders of Jarmusch right now. She wants that third strike. Here it comes. A big chopper to the right side. Santa Cruz gloves it, throws to first, not in time. Here comes the runner to score. As there was that moment where Sarah von Zeppelin was crossing in the way of Linda Santa Cruz trying to field the ball. Santa Cruz trying to dodge the base runner. Had the ball go in and out of her glove just for a moment.
I couldn't pick it up cleanly.
And also that ball hit the lip of the grass out in front of the dirt in front of the batter's circle.
High bounce. I don't know.
Slowed it down. It's crazy.
Even if it had been fielded cleanly, I don't know if they would have got her. It was after that high bounce.
So Petzold scores. Von Zeppelin goes to second. The pitch is a strike, by the way, to Damaris Walter. That's a base hit for Vera Hugendubel. She has 2 hits. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. That was a very half-hearted swing by Damaris Walter. Well, Jarmusch appears to be dominating, and yet a couple of seeing eye grounders, and she's in the hole 2-0 to the Stuttgart Reds.
Well, the ball has not yet left the infield.
There's a foul. Count still 0-2. That's one of the tough things about this game. Sometimes you do everything right and nothing still goes your way. Give the Reds credit. They're putting the ball in play.
Choking up on 2 strikes.
Fouled away again.
Staying alive.
I mean, if she gets another strikeout this inning, she will have recorded all 3 outs via strikeout this inning. But in between, a couple of ground ball infield singles, the throwing error. That run is unearned.
That's how the run is scored.
This one in the dirt. Good block by Peter. If that ball gets any more distance away, then there's a good chance that the runners might have tried to advance. Sarah von Zeppelin, the lead runner at second. Farah Hugendubel, the trail runner at first. Jarmusch wants another pitch. She shook one off. Now the pitch coming. Popped up on the infield and caught. Nope, dropped by the third baseman, Vila. Everybody is safe. Has looked like a little bit of miscommunication between Reinisch and Vila. Vila is the taller of the two, but usually the shortstop is the captain of the infield.
Exactly.
And
Vila was calling her off.
That's got to be an error. Bases are now loaded. This is that last play. You can see as Vila and Reinisch, I wouldn't say they collided, but they did make contact with one another. So the base is loaded for Kristen Scheible. That's a ball inside. 1 ball, no strikes. 2-0. Stuttgart leading. And that's fouled to the screen. That's one of the first good swings that Stuttgart has had in this inning.
Exactly. Just got under the ball.
Kristen Scheible, she struck out and reached on an error her first 2 times. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Very dangerous hitter.
And she lines a base hit into left center field. Von Zeppelin scores. Coming to the plate is Hugendubel. She scores, and it's a 2-run single for Kristen Scheible. And it is 4-0.
Limping quite a bit as she ran to first base. I think she's she's going to get a pinch runner.
Yeah, she also has to go back in and put the catcher's gear on. So Farah Hukendubel, who just scored again, is going to come out and run. So now Hope Cornell, as you look at the replay, very clear line drive. Van Zeppelin scored, and then Hukendubel came in right behind her. So it's 4-0 Stuttgart.
So now are both of those runs unearned?
All the runs this inning are unearned, yes. The pitch, swing and a miss. Because of the error would have been the first out of the inning, and then there were 2 strikeouts after that. So the inning technically should be over by now. So any runs that score, no matter what happens this inning, they're all going to be unearned. 4-0. Hope Cornell is 1 for 1. She singled and was intentionally walked and takes a pitch inside. Runners on first and second. Walter is at second, and Hukendubel running for Scheible is at first. She's just a substitution that doesn't mean anything because Scheible, the catcher, has to go in and put the gear on. Popped out of play, foul. That's strike 2, 1 ball, 2 strikes. As the church bells are ringing here in Haar. One ball, 2 strikes. Oh, timeout. Somebody threw the ball in from the field while the players were standing ready to pitch, and that ball almost hit Jarmish. I don't know who that was. I think somebody just,
walking by.
Some random person got the ball and just chucked it on the field.
Wearing an LA Dodgers cap, it figures.
Well, that one almost gave Jarmish a small heart attack. That ball landed right in front of her. Well, talk about having to be mentally tough. First and second, 2 outs. The pitch. A little flare, and that is going to be off the glove of the shortstop into left field. A base hit. Another run will score. The throw to third. Not in time. Taking second on the play is Hope Cornell. It is 5-0. A little blooper that got over the glove of Sophia Reinisch. All these runs are unearned, but give Cornell an RBI. Didn't hit it hard. And now Colleen Fenton will step up to the plate. Runners on second and third, still 2 outs. Fastball strike. And that looked like an angry fastball.
It was, definitely. I'm going to make a statement.
Well, Jarmish is doing everything she can. Fly ball, center field, and it is caught by Teresa Diefenbach. A nice sliding catch in right center field to end this inning as 9 batters come to the plate for the Stuttgart Reds. And they come up with 4 unearned runs. Let's see, 4 runs, none earned on 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. There were 2 errors and 2 left on base. So we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. It is 5-0 Stuttgart. This is Haar Disciples Softball, präsentiert von dem Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Stuttgart 5, Haar 0, and Lisa Gruber will step up to the plate against McKenna Akers. Pitching with a big lead now. The first pitch is outside, ball 1. It'll be Gruber, Sam Jarmish, and Katrin Peter. 4, 5, and 6. McKenna Akers has allowed 3 hits, walked 1, no strikeouts. Does a drive to center field. This is sending back the center fielder, Damaris Walter, but she makes the play.
Well hit, nicely played by the center fielder.
That'll bring up Samantha Jarmish. Jarmish popped out her first time.
Nice angle to the ball.
Yep, and the wind is also blowing directly in, so anything hit in the air is going to get blown back towards us. Although now that I say that, the wind changed direction. It's now behind us, but it's definitely a gusty day today. The pitch is low. 1 ball, no strikes.
A gusty day and gutsy play.
What was the gutsy play? Here's that one's high.
Just in general.
I see. 2-0 on Jarmish. There's a strike on the inside corner. 2 balls and 1 strike now. 5-0 Stuttgart leading. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning. Popped up on the infield. Hope Cornell is there, makes the catch. And there are 2 down. And that'll bring up Katrin Peter. Peter popped out to the catcher her first time, looking down for the signs from Bella Lansinger, the third base coach. And the pitch. There's a strike. So McKenna Akers.
Still no strikeouts, I believe.
Yep, pitching to contact, but she's gotten good defensive play behind her. There's a slow ground ball to third. And Von Zeppelin's throw to first is in time, and that's a 1-2-3 inning for McKenna Akers. Nothing across the board. And we go to the 5th. It is 5-0 Stuttgart. This is Haar Disciples Softball, präsentiert von dem Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD. We are back for the top of the 5th inning. 5-0 Stuttgart leading the Disciples. And Isabel Huth is now in the game in left field. So that means no more designated player for the Disciples, as Annalena Violet is out of the game. Ball 2 on, this is Alia Petzold leading things off, as the Reds sent 9 batters to the plate last inning, scoring 4 unearned runs. It'll be Petzold, Sarah Von Zeppelin, and Patricia Krempels-Uribe against Sam Jarmish. A couple other changes I'll tell you about in a minute. There's a strike, 2 and 1. So the outfield is now Huth in left, Diefenbach in center, Sophie Moore is in right field. The third baseman is now Katrin Peter. The catcher is Annika Srestra. First baseman is now Lisa Gruber. And the bunt is popped up and caught by Srestra. That was a good play by Annika. And there's 1 down.
You mentioned earlier that Stuttgart was in second place. According to this, they're in first place. So
Yes, but that doesn't include last week's results. Freising is in first place.
Freising is in first place. Okay.
Yeah. Stuttgart lost both of their games last weekend against Regensburg. Sarah von Zeppelin 0 for 1, 0 for 2 rather. Hits one on the ground to the second baseman Santa Cruz, and she throws her out. 2 down. And now Patricia Krempels-Uribe will step up to the plate. Sam Jarmusch trying to have a better inning than she did last inning, although it wasn't necessarily her fault. Yeah.
Unearned, indeed.
That one is high, ball 1.
So quite a few fans have left the stadium, I guess you could call it. Just want to stick around for the second game.
Maybe they have to catch their reservations for the World Cup
That's true.
match, which is only, what, 4 hours from now?
Exactly.
Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike.
3 hours and 45 minutes away.
They don't do tailgating here, though.
No, they don't.
This is
They tailgate in the stadium.
yeah. 1 ball and 1 strike. Slow ground ball left side, fielded by Peter. The throw to first is in time. She almost overthrew the first baseman Gruber, but did not. 5-3 on the putout. And a very quick and successful inning for Sam Jarmusch here in the 5th. We go to the bottom of the 5th. It is 5-0 Stuttgart. To the bottom of the 5th inning, and Sophia Reinisch leads off against McKenna Akers, and the pitch is low, ball 1. It'll be Reinisch and then Isabel Huth and Sophie Moore, 7, 8, 9 in the order for the Disciples as they trail 5-0 to the Stuttgart Reds. 4 unearned runs. That's a foul or a strike, swing and a miss. Doesn't really matter if it was a swing and a miss or a strike or a foul, rather, because there's nobody on base.
Running bunt attempt, a little Happy Gilmore bunt.
1-1. I got to go back and watch that movie again. 1-1 pitch. Chopped on the ground to short. Hope Cornell fields and fires to first in time.
Hope Cornell has been a vacuum cleaner at shortstop today.
There's been no hope for anybody hitting the ball in her direction today.
How long have you been waiting to use that one?
Would you believe it that I only just thought of that now? I'm not usually trying to be clever like that. And yeah, Isabel Huth steps up to the plate. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Huth started the ball game as the designated player. Now she's in the outfield. And she hits one in the air to center field, and it is right at Walter, who makes the catch for the second out.
Well hit, but right to the center fielder, unfortunately.
I think she might have gotten it a little towards the end of the bat. But still, solid contact, and now Sophie Moore, excuse me, steps up to the plate, and that pitch is in for a strike. Moore entered the game for Shia Redziro who had to come out after she dove back in to the first baseline. That
Oh.
liner down the line hits Bella Lensinger, who was coaching. No, that's not Bella. That was, who was that? That's Annalena Vila, who just got hit by that line drive. Not directly, though. She's okay. Bella Lensinger is coaching down the third baseline, so the count 2 strikes. Popped up foul, out of play.
Sophie with the perfect 1,000 on-base percentage. She walked in her only plate appearance so far.
There's a bouncing ball to the right side, and the play to first is made by Krempels Uribe, and that's a perfect inning. Here in the 5th inning, we go to the 6th inning. It is 5-0 Stuttgart. This is Haar Disciples Softball, präsentiert von dem Gesundheitsunternehmen MS.
D.
We go to the 6th inning, top half, Stuttgart 5 and Haar nothing. And it will be Martina Meyer-Henke, Vera Hugendubel, and Damaris Walter. Bottom of the order has been a thorn in the side of Sam Jarmusch, as both rallies have started at this part of the order. First pitch is low, ball 1. Meyer-Henke has struck out twice. That one's in there for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. Popped up into short right field, and Moore is there to make the catch down the line. So there's 1 away. I believe it was a fair ball as well. And so Vera Hugendubel, who has reached on singles both times. One was a little ground ball that got past the mound and she beat it out. And the other one was a Baltimore chop. There's another one. This one goes right back to Jarmusch, and she makes the play to first. And Hugendubel is retired for the first time in this ballgame. 2 down very quickly.
Weak but effective hits from Hugendubel.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter what they look like as long as you get on base, right?
Yep, they all look like line drives in the box score.
Exactly.
Top of the order now, Damaris Walter. 2 outs, nobody on. In the 6th inning. That one is high off the glove of Swerstra. That one is a little bit low, 2-0. Ball 3. Stuttgart scored a run in the 3rd inning. That was also an unearned run, and then they scored 4 unearned runs in the 4th inning, so all the runs unearned. There's a strike, 3 balls and 1 strike. You know the last thing.
Looks good for Jarmusch's ERA, but of course all that really matters is the W in the win-loss column.
Right, you can see the frustration. She's trying to work her way through. There's a foul off to the right, out of play. Full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes now.
If I remember correctly, she has not walked a batter yet today.
Nope, she has not. There's only been 1 walk in the game, and that was to Raziru, who then was doubled off. So both pitchers have been on their game today. And the pitch, that one's low. There's the walk. No, that's your fault, Rick.
It's my fault.
That's your fault.
Said that. It's only the 8th walk that Jarmusch has given up this year. Against what now, 29, 30 strikeouts?
She has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 strikeouts today.
Against 30 strikeouts, so that's her 8th walk against 30 strikeouts.
2 down, and now Kristen Scheibler, who is 1 for 3. There's a strike. Let her high. Runner at first base, Damaris Walter. Might be a threat to go, although with a 5-run lead. Not sure. 2 down, however. Chopper left side, backhanded by Reinisch, and her throw bounces up and hits Lisa Gruber right in the face. The ball is still live, and Gruber is holding her head. Time is called, and now everybody's going to attend to Lisa Gruber. That ball hit the dirt and bounced up and hit Lisa Gruber, looked like in the left eye area. She is holding her face.
Ouch.
Yeah, and we talked about it before, the dangers of the softball. I mean, just, it's a heavy object. And the ball was quickly retrieved and gotten back into the infield. So the runners will stop on first and second.
Oh, she's got ice now. It does look like a left eye.
Let's look at, this is on a replay. It was a bouncing ball to deep short, and Reinisch bounced the throw, and you could see Gruber backing up on it. She was hit by the ball and also run into by the runner, Scheibler, almost in the same moment, and she appears to be okay now.
We've already had 1 injury today with the ambulance coming to the field.
Yeah. Well, there's no visible sign of injury. I mean, sometimes, you can see a play like that, and you will see blood everywhere, and that is not the case right now. So that's certainly
good news.
Fortunate. First and second now. I'm guessing that was a base hit, and it was. 2 hits for Scheibler, but now Hope Cornell, who is 2 for 2 with an intentional walk. That's pretty standard box score results for her. And she's going to get another intentional walk to load the bases. Boy, Colleen Fenton, a little smile on her face as she's coming up to the plate. That's, how many times has that happened today?
That's
Twice
3.
in this game and once in the previous game. But the other one in the previous game was again to load the bases. So bases loaded. Yeah.
In the other game.
Fenton is 0 for 3. And a fly ball right field, playable for more. She's there and makes the catch. And the inning is over. So the intentional walk worked. 1 pitch, and the inning is over with. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 3 left on base. At the end of 5½, it is 5-0 Stuttgart. This is Haar Disciples Softball, präsentiert von dem Gesundheitsunternehmen
SD.
to the bottom of the 6th inning, 5-0 Stuttgart. And Annika Sverstra leading things off against McKenna Akers. First pitch misses outside, ball 1. Top of the order, Sverstra, then Linda Santa Cruz and Teresa Diefenbach. Sverstra is 0 for 2. That's a ball high, 2-0. McKenna Akers has walked 1, allowed 3 hits. And that's it. There's a chopper pulled foul. 2 balls and 1 strike.
I wish we had fences this short when we played.
There's a drive to the alleyway in right center field, and it is caught on the run. Nice running play by Damaris Walter in right center field.
He's had some excellent defense in center field today.
Yeah, that ball was hit very hard by Sverstra. And you see how Walter had to really run it down in the gap. She got a great read. Not a lot of time. The ball wasn't in the air for very long. And now Linda Santa Cruz, who's doubled and singled. That pitch is low and outside. Santa Cruz has represented 50% of all the base runners for the Disciples in this game. That's a fancy way of saying they've only had 4 base runners in the whole game. This one popped up on the infield, playable. Fenton in foul ground makes the catch. And now, as I look at my scorecard, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 in a row have been set down by McKenna Akers.
Really found her groove.
Yep. It's moving quickly. They're swinging early in the count. That's something that happens when you establish you're throwing strikes all the time.
Exactly. Though she still has no strikeouts, but has been extremely effective.
Yeah, no walks either in getting ahead of hitters.
Yep.
Pitch is high to Diefenbach.
Pitching to contact.
And there's been some good contact. Diefenbach lined out to center field.
But right to people.
Yeah, Sverstra hit the ball hard.
The old adage, hit them where they ain't, has not been followed by Haar today.
That's a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. On the other side, the Reds have not hit the ball hard at all against Samantha Jarmusch, but some errors, including a couple by Jarmusch herself. And that has led to 5 unearned runs. That's the difference in the game so far. 2 balls and 1 strike to Teresa Diefenbach. Popped foul. 2-2. Line drive, that is a base hit to left field. And Diefenbach.
Well hit. Again, good contact. This time it dropped in for a hit.
Take a look at this one on the replay. The pitch was in the center of the strike zone, it appeared. And Diefenbach, a good short swing and lined it into left field for the 4th base hit. And now Lisa Gruber will step up to the plate. Gruber 0 for 2. And the pitch, that's in for a strike. 0-1. Swing and a foul tip, a throw behind the runner at first, and she dives back.
Yeah, the throw is high, otherwise would have been a close play, I think.
Diefenbach getting the right hand in there. Yeah, but you're right. Colleen Fenton having to go up and get that throw. No balls, 2 strikes, here it comes. Changeup, and that was possibly the first one she's thrown all game like that.
Way ahead of that
Swung on
pitch.
and missed for strike 3, and there's your first strikeout of the ball game for McKenna Akers. Let's look at that one again on the replay. Just this pitch comes in like a balloon, and Gruber, no chance. That was just a nasty pitch from McKenna Akers.
Swung at that before it got within a meter of the plate.
So we go to the 7th inning. It is 5-0 Stuttgart. This is Haar Disciples Softball, präsentiert von dem Gesundheitsunternehmen
MSD.
We go to the top of the 7th inning. 5-0 Stuttgart. And it will be 5, 6, and 7. Elia Petzold, Sarah von Zeppelin, and Patricia Krempels-Uribe against Samantha Jarmisch. Jarmisch has pitched wonderfully. First pitch is low for a ball. Jarmisch has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 strikeouts. She's allowed 7 hits. All 5 runs are unearned. There's a ground ball to the shortstop. Reinisch's throw is in time. And there's one away. It was a close play at first base, as Elia Petzold was hustling down the line, but a good play by Sophia Reinisch.
Yeah, sharply hit. Got to the shortstop in a hurry, so it was a time to make the throw.
And also from the hole, it's a long throw. We've seen almost all of those go for hits. The pitch to Sarah von Zeppelin is high for a ball.
Which is why I don't play shortstop.
Yeah, you play third base. Like what difference does that make? Of course, we're talking about barbecue softball here.
That's true.
Pretty much any ball put in play is a hit anyway. It doesn't really matter in that league. There's another chopper, same spot. Reinisch, glove. She has a little bit more time, and the throw is in time. Nice pick.
First base.
Lisa Gruber having to go down and get that one out of the dirt. Let's look at that one on the replay. This ball maybe hit slightly more towards routine shortstop position. And you see Gruber with the stretch.
A nice charge by Reinisch and a nice throw. Or a nice pick, I should say, at first base.
So now Patricia Krempels-Uribe stepping up to the plate. And she foul tips one, strike one. Now Samantha Jarmisch gave up an unearned run in the 3rd and 4 unearned runs in the 4th, and that's been it. But McKenna Akers has also been great. Swing and a miss, strike 2. The Disciples have one more crack at it in the bottom of the 7th inning. They will send 5, 6, and 7 to the plate against McKenna Akers.
Deep hole to climb out of, 5-0.
Yep. Certainly possible, though. Pitch is high, 1 ball, 2 strikes. One ball and 2 strikes. Here it comes. A little bit low, and the count now even, 2-2. Two pitch, high, and now they count 3-2. Martina Meyer-Henke is on deck. Krempels-Uribe is 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Full count. Strike 3. That's strikeout number 10 for Samantha Jarmisch, and if that is her final pitch of the day, her pitching line is a lot better than it will actually look. The 5 runs unearned. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning, and it is 5-0 Stuttgart. This is Haar Disciples softball.
Präsentiert von der Gesundheitsunternehmen MSD.
Something like that. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. It is 5-0 Stuttgart. McKenna Akers trying to complete the game. And she's facing her counterpart, Sam Jarmish. First pitch is up high. 1 ball, no strikes. Jarmish 0 for 2. It'll be Jarmish, Katrin Peter, and Sophia Reinisch. There's a blooper into short right field. That ball drops. It's a base hit for Sam Jarmish. So she is on.
All right, so hope is alive for Haar.
That's 5 base hits in the game for the Disciples against McKenna Akers. And Katrin Peter steps up to the plate now. And here's the pitch. She squares and she lays down a bunt and it goes foul.
That really came spinning off the bat. It was a good bunt, but it crawled into foul territory.
Well, the Disciples need base runners, so these bunts are obviously designed for base hits. I mean, there's no sacrificing the runner second base in the 7th inning when you're trailing by 5.
No, definitely not.
And instead, a ground ball to the shortstop, steps on second and throws to first, not in time, throws low and trickles away from Fenton.
Yeah, with these close fences down the first and third base line, even if the throw gets away, it's going to be difficult to advance.
So that's a fielder's choice. There's one away. The ball was hit pretty hard and it was short hopped by Hope Cornell. And
she's shown outstanding defense at shortstop today.
she almost looked as if she knew that there was no chance to get the runner at first, but then she was like, what the heck, I'll throw it anyway.
Yeah.
And Sophia Reinisch now steps up to the plate. Here's the pitch. She's laying down a bunt, and this ball goes foul.
Another spinning bunt.
You know, the grass is a small mountain. I mean, the ball has to go uphill to get from the dirt to the grass here.
Yeah, yeah.
And that ball, it's like a miniature golf course. It kind of like trickled off to the left. So, strike 1 on Sophia Reinisch. Strike 2 as he swings and misses. McKenna Akers only with 1 strikeout and 1 walk in the game.
Yeah,
The Disciples
have been pitching to contact, and her defense has held her up.
Yep, they've had a couple of hard hit balls to the outfield, line drives, nice catches. There's a pop up down the right field line, long run for Petzold, and she makes the play. Throw to first, however, is not in time behind the runner as Colleen Fenton ends up on the ground.
Actually had some really good contact, but right 2 people, unfortunately for Haar.
Yeah, you got to give the Reds credit. Their defense has been on top of it.
Yep.
Little half swing fly ball, and you see Aaliyah Petzold running in. By the time she caught it, she was only a few feet away from first base, so a little toss behind the runner at first. So 2 down, and Isabel Hoot, the hitter, takes a strike.
Well, Stuttgart 1 out away from the doubleheader sweep.
They won the first game by a score of 4-2. And McKenna Akers rocks and deals the pitch. Little blooper, and it is fielded right on second base by the second baseman, Krempel Zeribe. She grabbed the ball with her back foot on second base, and that's a force out, and that ends the ball game. That's it.
Does. Okay, good day for Stuttgart. Sweeping the doubleheader.
Yeah, the final score, the Stuttgart Reds 5, the Haar Disciples nothing. And let's see, I'm going to create some totals for you here. The Stuttgart Reds had 5 runs on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. They committed no errors, and they left 1, 2, 3, 4 runners on base the entire game. The Haar Disciples, no runs. Excuse me, the Disciples had 5 hits. The Reds had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hits. The Disciples had 3 errors. The Reds left 8 runners on base. This ball game starting about 5 minutes after 3 and ending at 4:40, so roughly 1 hour and 35 minutes. In fact, exactly the same length as the first game. And you're seeing both teams meeting in the middle of the field. The Stuttgart Reds win both games of the doubleheader. They win 3 out of 4 for the season, and they rebound from a tough weekend against Regensburg last weekend. Their record now improves to 14-4. The Disciples are now 5-14. A couple of close ball games, and My next broadcast will be this Friday, the Heidenheim Heideköpfe and the Haar Disciples. That will be from Heidenheim on Friday evening at 6 p.m., I believe, and then Saturday afternoon, the two teams will return here to Haar, and that game will also be broadcast on Eurobaseball TV just as usual. And Rick, so what'd you think? First softball game you've ever called?
First softball game I've ever called. Interesting. Definitely different than baseball, but still exciting.
Well,
Fun
we're
stuff.
glad. You just insulted everybody watching. It's a softball fan. Come on, man.
I said it's different than baseball, but exciting.
Yeah, you were like different from baseball, but still exciting.
Still exciting.
It's
yeah.
one of those, yeah.
Well, as a softball player myself,
Yeah, but we're softball players that are very not exciting to watch.
We're not excited
You
to
do
watch
not
at
want to
all.
watch us
You
play
don't wanna watch
softball.
us play.
No, do not do that.
yeah. Anyway,
But-
thanks everybody.
Yes. And be sure to tune in on Friday. Thanks for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed the game. Once again, the final score is Stuttgart Reds 5, the Haar Disciples nothing. In the first game, the Stuttgart Reds won by a score of 4-2. And thank you, Rick, for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
My name is Tim Collins, and that is it. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And I presume many of you will watch the World Cup. So
Exactly.
enjoy yourselves doing that. And I hope you have a wonderful Saturday evening. Thank you for tuning in. Goodbye.